Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. No, not locked out.
You bought new tires, right? So you bought new tires because they also sell used tires starting at just $30 for most sizes. But you bought new tires and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire shops around town. That is phenomenal, and came with a 60,000-mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And of course, Friendly Tire, they never charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. The price that they give you are out the door and on the road.
Good morning, good morning. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everybody like the video if you don't mind.
Give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com, 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Seniors, Medicare open enrollment is coming. Will Advisors has all the education you need to make an informed decision about your plan for you and your family. Will Advisors specializes in every aspect of Medicare and what options are most likely to help or hurt you. And that way you can get a plan that fits your lifestyle and needs at an affordable rate. Call Debbie at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Laundrie. Veterans and spouses of veterans.
All right, it's showtime, people.
You are not aware of, including long-term care benefits. Call attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Laundrie and find out what benefits are available to you. With offices in Boca Raton and Fort
Here we go.
Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Call the show toll free. Dial 1-888-COCAINE. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1.
Yes, welcome everyone. Indeed, my name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. It is Friday, September 24th, 2021. And of course, this is the most important Steve Kane Show of the week. And you regular listeners, you know why that is, because this is not just our morning show this Friday morning, but is also the overnight rebroadcast for the entire weekend. And just on our radio stations, our AM and FM radio stations, I'm not including the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, our radio station app, the feed at SteveKaneShow.com, my YouTube channel, Brian Craig, and all the other things that carry this show with and without our permission. Just on our radio stations, the Friday edition of the Steve Kane Show airs a total of 35 times before we return live to you Monday morning at 6 a.m. So we always want to make sure the Friday show is the best. And man, do we got a lot to talk about on the program today. Oh, man. There's all kinds of craziness going on. And we're going to get into as much of it as we can between now and 9 a.m. And since it is Friday, we will keep it what I call Open Phones Light. I don't like to call it Open Phone Friday because that's what Rush did. And I don't want to steal from Rush what he was doing. But we keep it Open Phones Light. And what that means is that you can call in about anything you have on your mind that is relevant to the news. Well, I guess the news cycle that's going on right now. Okay, I don't need to hear anyone to call me about how to get the fleas off their cat or something. I need, it's got to be relevant to the discussion in the news cycle. So we'll keep open phones on that level. Okay, not completely open phones light, and of course our number is toll free 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's KANE and the number 1. 888-465-2631. Before we get into the issues, I thought I would just start by playing something that I just enjoy. I've watched this video a few times already. Al Sharpton went down to the border. Did you guys see this yesterday? Al Sharpton. I forgot about Al Sharpton. But Al Sharpton went down to the southern border because of the Haitians that are there, and he's going down there trying to play the race card. Reverend Al Sharpton, does he have a church? Like, if I were in New York City, could I go to church on Sunday at Reverend Al's church and sit in the pews and listen to him give a sermon? Does he have a church? When did he, years ago he got this makeover. He used to wear like that fedora hat with the feather and the big coats, and everything else. And now he's like, wears fancy clothes. But I thought I would just share this. Al Sharpton went down to the southern border and had a press conference, and the Texans, they weren't having it. And they heckled him where he could not be heard. This is something the left are not accustomed to. Certainly not Reverend Al Sharpton. But let me play. I just thought this was fun. This is just fun. So let's start with this. This is Al Sharpton down at the border in a failed press conference being heckled by the Texans.
To my left is the former U.S. ambassador to South Africa.
Why are you not being racing at the border?
And to his
40% of the children that have come in unaccompanied are now missing from the border. Kids are being sedated at the U.S. border. Why are you not being a voice for the children?
From Atlanta, Georgia, New Birth Baptist Church, Reverend Freddie Hayes.
Why are you making racism where it doesn't exist?
How much money?
Why are you trying to come and promote violence? Why are you here advocating for violence? Why are you here advocating for violence? Del Rio is not a racist.
I love this.
Del Rio is a loving, caring community. We don't want your racism in Texas.
And, okay, now this guy that says Del Rio is a loving community, we don't want your racism in Texas, he has a Hispanic accent. So he's an immigrant. This doesn't get old. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. I just thought we'd start the show with some fun.
Get out of here. Nobody wants to hear your racist nonsense in Del Rio. You're a racist. Nobody wants you in Texas. Why are you not a voice for the children that have gone missing at the border? Where are your voices? Get out of your racism. Get out of your reverse racism.
The Trump supporters and the right wingers can scream all they want. We're going to continue to come back. We're going to stand with our people to make sure that asylum
Get out of Texas.
in one manner. And we will continue to come back over and over again. For people to be treated like this in a humane way. And for people to feel that they can use weaponization of horses to treat human should be resisted. So they can have all the hecklers they want. They should do all they can. We will keep coming back as long as it's necessary. We want to see the Border Patrol fully investigate those that were involved to face justice, and we want to see full asylum given to those that deserve, like this one in this country that enters this country. We cannot have a double standard at the border. We will not tolerate it. We will not have it, and we will not be allowed.
Now he leaves. I love it. I just love that. And they ran off Al Sharpton. I've never seen that happen to Al Sharpton. He won't be back in Texas having press conferences outside. Oh man, I know. Isn't that wonderful? Oh yeah. And I played the whole thing there. It's 2 minutes and 35 seconds long. And you know what? That was some of the fastest 2 minutes and 35 seconds I've ever experienced in my life. That does not get old. I've watched that several times. All right, listen, let me take a call or two, and then we'll get into the issues, and there are a lot of them today. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. And, let me just see what's here. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Morning, Brian. That last segment was wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
To see if you were speaking about that situation where Joe Biden had fired that beautiful little 13-year-old girl with I didn't know if you had spoken about it.
What happened? Joe Biden did what to a child with Down syndrome?
It was absolutely heartbreaking.
Well, tell me about it.
The little girl is 13 years old. You can see the video on Fox News. She's carrying a little teddy bear holding her father's hand with these big, thick Coke glasses. She's got Down syndrome, really, really severe. I'm very sorry. And she's on a disability board, and Joe Biden decided to fire all the people that Donald Trump hired.
Oh, my.
This little girl with Down syndrome, and she could barely understand what's going on. They showed a picture of Donald Trump giving her a little kiss on the top of her head, giving her a hug and a smile, and made one tiny little thing in her life nice. And when you see the news clip on it...
Yeah, I just pulled it up as you're talking. Well, certainly, this has been corrected because Joe Biden, he wouldn't do something like this to a Down syndrome child. How old is the girl?
Maybe 10, 12.
Oh, my goodness. But she's MAGA. Her family are MAGA?
Her father's a police officer, but
there you go. Oh, yeah, he's a cop appointed. Was she put on this committee by President Trump?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how much they hate Trump, right? Her father's a cop. They hate the cops. They're MAGA. She was appointed by President Trump. Is he going to take the medals away from the winners of the Special Olympics too? I mean, my goodness. That's awful.
Her job back, and when you see the videos...
I just pulled it up. I'm not going to start my day with that. It's like, it's like watching those abandoned animal commercials they play all the time on Fox and Newsmax during the commercials. I don't need to see any more of it. What a heartless man. Who would do that? And I didn't hear her speak. I'm just looking at the video. She has full blown Down syndrome. I mean, she doesn't. Was she heartbroken? Was she sad?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, she's just a little girl,
Wow. What kind of person does that to a little child? Oh my goodness.
It was heartbreaking.
Oh my goodness. All right, appreciate it. Yeah. Have any of you seen that? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I just want to mention a couple things, then we'll break and I'll get into the big story, okay? Which is this January 6th committee and some other things. The southern border, we have thousands of missing Haitians down there, and last night and yesterday afternoon, a lot of news was breaking about the situation with the Haitians at the southern border. And this is one of the things that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. They're letting pregnant women in. They're letting pregnant women in. And whatever man is with them who claims to be their husband. No marriage license is required. Now, they're letting pregnant women in. Now, on the face of it, you might say, well, we don't want to turn pregnant women back on that desert trail back to Brazil or wherever they came from. Do you know that they're not giving pregnancy tests to the women that they're letting in? They're letting pregnant women in, but no pregnancy test. And guess what? This is absolutely amazing. All of the Haitian migrant women, they just all happen to be pregnant. That's amazing. That's amazing. And all of them are married to the man that they're with. You got to ask yourself this. They're letting pregnant women in. They're taking them at their word. No pregnancy test. And some of the women that I saw walking across the river, they looked like they could be pregnant, but they're just obese, so they can pass. But even if you're not showing, they take your word for it. Is that government incompetence, or is that by design? What do you guys think about that? They're letting pregnant women in. Pregnant Haitian women can come in, but they're not doing pregnancy tests. They're taking them at their word. Now, we don't have numbers yet, but I'm assuming they're all pregnant, right? Right? Why wouldn't they be? That gets them in. Is that by design, or is that typical government incompetence? That just blew my mind when I heard that yesterday. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning.
Yeah. What's your name?
I was from Louisiana. I'm the person who called yesterday.
Oh yeah. The Democrat from Louisiana. Good morning.
Yeah. Oh, good morning. Hey, what I'm calling about this morning. You had a caller who was talking about Biden with the little girl with Down syndrome.
Yes.
I went to the Fox News site. I didn't see anything on that about that, so I don't know where he got.
No, it's true. The story is about 4 or 5 days old. That's why. I looked it up. It was 4 or 5 days ago, and I did hear about it a few days ago. I just didn't get into it. So what are your thoughts on it? I mean, poor Down syndrome child removed from a presidential committee by Joe Biden. That's pretty sad and sick and uncaring, isn't it?
Okay, Trump. Okay, so Trump. Okay, so okay. I don't know. I don't know how true that is.
No, it's true. You can take my good word for it. It's true.
Okay. Another thing. You're talking about.
Doesn't want to comment on it.
You was talking about Al Sharpton yesterday at the border.
Yes.
And you talk about Al Sharpton and never go back to Texas. You don't know Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton is a fighter. He's been fighting for civil rights for a long time.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, he's been fighting. Your daughter is black.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, really? My daughter's black? Shocker. I had no idea.
Let me finish. Al Sharpton is fighting for your daughter, too. Your daughter is black.
Yes.
Your daughter is black. Okay? Your daughter is black. So he's fighting for your daughter, too. And you talking about Al Sharpton, or they ran him out of Texas. You don't know what Al Sharpton and people like him has been through with civil rights fights and stuff.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. I know all about Al Sharpton, certainly more than you do. But let's not get sidetracked. Oh, slow down. You made a comment. I want to ask you something because I'm here to be informed. I don't know everything. You said that Al Sharpton has been fighting for civil rights for a long, long time. Can you give me an example of one right African Americans now have because of Al Sharpton that they didn't have before his activism? A right that he gave black people.
There's a lot. Bro.
There's a lot. Well, just pick one so we can talk about it. I want to take a knee for Al Sharpton.
But you were talking about, you want to talk about Al Sharpton, or they ran him out of Texas.
No. You said that Al Sharpton has been working for civil rights. So I want to know a civil right that black people did not have that they currently today have because of Al Sharpton's work.
He's working for the civil rights, bro.
Working for, all the civil rights have been accomplished. There's nothing left to fight for.
If y'all have y'all way, and you have a black daughter.
Yes.
I listen to you. Every morning. I listen to you for a second because I can't take you for no more than a second.
Yeah.
Talk to you. I'm getting ready to turn you off.
Yeah.
Because even though you.
So you can't think of anything that he's accomplished in his decades of service.
No, I just told you that, dude. I just told you.
No. What is? Give me other than becoming a millionaire. Other than becoming a millionaire, what has Al Sharpton accomplished?
Trump is a millionaire.
No, Trump's a billionaire. Thank you very much. Trump's a billionaire, but he didn't make his money. He didn't make his money passing a collections plate around a church. What has Al Sharpton done to help? Excuse me. What has Al Sharpton done? Just one thing to help black people.
The biggest crook. Trump is one of the...
We're not talking about Trump. We're talking about Sharpton. No. You called in and said that Al Sharpton has been... Think of anything. He's done... Yeah, hello, I'm still here. You didn't hang up right. You said goodbye. Now, there she goes. She figured out how to hang up. Oh, man. Al Sharpton's done many things for civil rights, but she can't think of one. Oh, my goodness. Well, if anyone can think of anything Al Sharpton has done, good or bad, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. But I'd like to hear something good so we can honor the greatness that is Al Sharpton on the program today. All right, if you're on hold, don't go anywhere. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. Let's take that first break, all right? We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Hi, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife. I did the Biden whisper there. My wires are all twisted. Hold on.
Well, as you know, Brian, I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years and years, and we had bought a new mattress not that long ago. But it's
Steve Kane Show.
The trick, so I said to you, let's get the MyPillow.
Hey, Jeff, hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
If it helps and makes any kind of a difference. And I have to tell you, after sleeping on it just one night, I woke up, no pain. I felt incredible. It made a huge difference for me. And the pain has not returned.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to MyPillow.com and order your MyPillow mattress topper and do what Kathy and I did. Use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And this is an incredible deal because with the promo code KANE, you will save 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper and get 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Seniors, Medicare open enrollment is quickly approaching. Call I Will Advisors for a free review of your existing health care policy and learn about all of your Medicare options. Call Debbie at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Oh, man, welcome back, everyone. 24 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Good morning, Jeff in Maine. Jeff.
I'm sorry, I hit the mute button by accident.
That's okay. That's okay.
Caller, that was perfect what you did. She couldn't name one thing. I give him credit for one thing, and this is the one thing that made him famous. He walked with Martin Luther King Jr. That's the only thing he ever did in his life.
Oh, which one, the third or Junior? Are you sure? I didn't know. I never heard that before. I don't know. You think you might have him confused with Jesse Jackson?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, no. I don't remember him having been. There's one thing that he has done, and that's lose a lot of weight, because he used to be morbidly obese, and then he dressed like a pimp. Remember, he used to be dressed like a pimp with like a fedora with a feather and the mink coat and everything. You know, but he lost a lot of weight, and whatever his weight loss secret is, I mean, I guess that's something that could be valuable to people. But I think you're thinking about Jesse Jackson, not Al Sharpton.
Right. But this thing on the border with the president.
And by the way, Jesse Jackson he did something very terrible to be. You know how he became famous, Jesse Jackson?
No.
Yeah, this is, oh boy, this is really sad. And it's important, you know, Michelle Obama went to high school with Jesse Jackson's daughter. They were best friends in high school. A lot of people don't know that. He worked for Martin Luther King, and he was there the day that Martin Luther King was assassinated. He wasn't on the balcony, but he was there. But he wasn't up in the room. He was at the hotel grounds, and when the shooting happened, he was hiding behind something along the swimming pool area, and when they took Martin Luther King away, and this is a true story. This has been written about. Okay, this is a true story. You guys can look this up on your own. Jesse Jackson, he was hiding by the pool when the shots were being fired. I'm not going to fault him for that. But when Martin Luther King was taken away, Jesse Jackson went up to the balcony where Martin Luther King was shot, took his shirt off, soaked it in the blood of Martin Luther King. Then he got on a plane and flew to New York City and did media interviews the next day wearing the blood-soaked shirt that he took off and soaked in the blood of Martin Luther King on the balcony. And that's how he became famous. It is, isn't it? And I know we don't talk about Jesse too much anymore, but yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yes, it is. On the border crisis, and they're saying they're letting pregnant women in.
Well, but there's no pregnancy test being given. They take their word for it.
Well, you know what's coming next? And the left would do it, is guys saying, I'm a female and I'm pregnant and you're going to let me in. That's how crazy the left has become.
Well, yeah. And it's amazing, you know, and in this new Democrat-led world we're in, men can be pregnant, right? You can't assign gender to anything, so I guess the men could say they were pregnant too.
How insane is that?
That's your Democrats.
Are you going to be, I hope you have a great week.
Well, it's tough, and this, you know, what's the situation in this country is pretty tough.
With the Arizona.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that, but go look it up online and read what yeah, and you'll see. Okay, all right. Yep. Yeah, no, it's over, unfortunately. Okay, but go check it out. Go read up on it. Oh my goodness, I really got behind on the brakes. Well, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I'm sorry. This will be a short segment because I went long because we got the Dem lady from Louisiana calling. I went long on the first break, and if I don't get back on our break schedule, it'll be like a traffic jam of commercial breaks from this point forward. So I got to take care of that. But the January 6th committee, I'm going to talk about this after the break. They have sent out subpoenas to Trump's top inner circle. And I'm going to talk about this when we get back from the break. And this hearing is going to be next month, where they're going to start bringing in Trump's inner circle into the January 6th committee hearings. And this is going to be a committee hearing like none other you have ever seen. Okay? So let me take this break so we can get back and talk about it. And I apologize, everyone, for the short segment, but that's my fault. Okay? We'll take that break right now and be back. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here. When it comes to auto repair, you want a garage that you can trust. Someone that will only do work on your car when your car needs work. Introducing Champagne Automotive in Boca Raton, the latest sponsor of the Steve Kane Radio Show. Tom called in on the radio to tell us about his experience with Champagne Automotive.
Hi, this is Tom from Tamarack.
Hey, Tom from Tamarack, what's up?
I just want to tell you guys something. I spent the last 2 days trying to get brakes for my car. I was leaving the house yesterday to go try another place that had a lower price. They wanted $800 for the brakes. And that advertisement came on for Champagne. I live in Western Tamarack. I said, let me take a drive up there. Well, I was almost blown over how friendly, honest, old school these people are.
Old school, that's really the term that really describes it.
But let me tell you, the guy I had gone to previously won $800. He said, well, you need to change your power steering fluid. And Ed, the owner...
Now listen, guys, I'm doing something a little different today that I don't normally do. After the show on my YouTube channel here at 9:15, that's Eastern time, of course, because I'm on the East Coast, but at 9:15, my podcast is going to live premiere here on my YouTube channel, and there'll be a live chat room there. So if you get a notification for that, that's what it'll be for.
For us to find as an advertiser, because most are like this guy you were dealing with the other day over in Tamarack, they're crooks. And we found Champagne Automotive, Ed, who's the owner, is a listener to the program. They come very, very highly recommended. So I appreciate you calling in and telling us the good story. Now, Champagne Automotive, they're in Boca off Spanish River Boulevard, immediately west of Dixie Highway. The number is 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Veterans and spouses of veterans, you may be entitled to benefits that you are not aware of, including long-term care benefits. Call attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group and find out what benefits are available to you. With offices in Boca Raton and Fort Lauderdale, call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782. 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
Hey guys, Welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Okay, so the January 6th committee, let me read you some of this, and then we'll talk about it. This is going to be huge, and it's going to be a hearing like you've never seen. The House Select Committee on the January 6th breach that they call the January 6th insurrection subpoenas 4 of Donald Trump's current and former top aides: Steve Bannon, Mark Meadows, Dan Schiavo, and Kash Patel have all been called to appear. President Trump is vowing to fight efforts to make them talk. They issued the subpoenas last night. One went out to former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, who joined Trump's efforts to do everything that they're complaining about. Schiavo is a longtime Trump aide, was Trump's digital director, handled his social media. Patel was chief of staff at the Pentagon. And Bannon, who was an advisor to Trump at the White House and then left, had been talking to him on that day, they claimed. Trump has called the panel the Unselect Committee and vowed to fight on executive privilege and other grounds. Now, let me tell you, Trump has called the January 6th Commission the Unselect Committee. You know what that tells me? That tells me he's talking to Mark Levin, because that sounds like a Mark Levin catchphrase, doesn't it? The Unselect Committee, like Meet the Depressed and all of that. So that's good, because Mark Levin is one of the top conservative minds in America, and maybe even the top conservative mind in America. And if he's talking to Mark Levin, he's getting legal advice from Mark Levin, I would imagine, and that's wonderful. Okay, now they call this the January 6th Insurrection Committee and all of this stuff. Remember, no one has been charged with insurrection. They've had convictions, not even the Viking himself. The shaman was convicted of insurrection. No one charged with insurrection. You cannot have an insurrection without insurrectionist. To have an insurrection, you've got to have insurrectionist. That's right. And of course, everyone was unarmed. Everyone left on their own. So it was not an insurrection. But here's what's going to be different about all of this committee, as opposed to things we've seen in the past. Okay. We were talking, I guess it was last week and the week before, about the treason of General Mark Milli Vanilli. I'm trying to get that Milli Vanilli thing going with me. If you guys can help me on the social media, General Milli Vanilli, isn't it? Yeah, I like that. I like it. I think it's good. It'd be a little good hashtag, although I like Milli Vanilli and I hate to soil the reputation with that. But regardless of that, we were talking about General Milley, who's going to be testifying in front of Congress very soon, maybe next week. Not sure of the date. Maybe it might be next week, but it's coming up soon. And when that happens, they take turns, like boy, girl, but it's Dem, Republican. And when Milley testifies, the Republicans are going to go after him like nobody's business for his treasonous activities that Bob Woodward has written about in his book. And the Democrats, when it's their turn, are going to praise him for his lifetime of public service and service. That's how it works. And that's how every committee hearing works. Okay? And it doesn't matter, whatever the political mix-up is. If it's a Republican testifying, the Democrats attack them and the Republicans praise them. If it's a Democrat testifying, the Democrats praise them and the Republicans attack them. This committee, though, will be different. With Steve Bannon and the rest of Trump's inner circle, the Republicans up there are Liz Cheney and Swalwell. Who's the, not Swalwell. Oh, boy. I've forgotten his name. Who's the Republican guy that's on the committee? He reminds me of Swalwell. He's a Democrat. What is the... Oh, man, I've forgotten his name. He's up there with Liz Cheney. He's a pilot. I can see him, but I can't remember his name. But regardless, we'll get it. Somebody will tell me in a minute. Kinzinger. Yeah, Kinzinger. Might as well be Eric Swalwell. This one's going to be different because the Republicans are going to go after... The Republicans on the committee are going to go after the Republicans that are testifying. The Democrats are going to go after them, and the Republicans are going to go after them. And let me tell you, the two Republicans up there are going to go after them more hardcore than the Democrats. There's never been a committee hearing like this one. I don't think Trump's going to be able to stop them from testifying. Maybe Meadows, but not Bannon. Bannon wasn't working for him then. So this is going to be one of the nastiest committee hearings you have ever seen. This is going to be a committee hearing like you've never seen before, because never have there been committee hearings where the other side there wasn't one side defending the witness when it was their time to talk. So it's going to be a rough one, and it's going to happen, and it's going to happen soon. It's going to happen next month. Now, I'm not too sure about how Mark Meadows will behave himself, because I haven't seen him really talk in too many circles other than, But Steve Bannon's another deal, or as President Trump calls him, Sloppy Steve. And I'm not so sure. I don't buy this story that Steve Bannon and President Trump had a falling out. I think that was strategic. I think he left to do work outside of the White House sphere of things. But Steve Bannon, he's not going to sit there and be asked leading questions, and then when he goes to answer, let them reclaim their time and not let him answer. Steve Bannon is going to be fascinating to see how he handles himself with the, but always, always the other side is defending, and having never seen something like this happen before where the witnesses have no side running interference for them, it's going to be they're going to be rough hearings. There's no getting around it. Let me read this story. The House Select Committee on the January 6th Capitol riot issued its first subpoenas Thursday, targeting former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and two close Donald Trump confidants, as well as a former Pentagon official. Mark Meadows featured prominently in Trump's efforts that he will be testifying. The subpoenas also went out to former White House Chief Strategist Steve Bannon, longtime Trump and White House aide Dan Schiavo, and the former Pentagon Chief Kash Patel. While serving as the White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows reportedly communicated with officials at the Department of Justice. Trump vowed to fight on executive privilege and other grounds. And it goes on. Bannon, they have a quote of Bannon on January 5th saying, quote, "All hell is going to break loose tomorrow." They take these quotes, like someone says, they get mad, oh, I'm going to kill you. And then the person ends up dead, and oh, look, they said they were going to do it, premeditated. There's all kinds of phrases people use all the time. They mean nothing. They're just words. This, I got to tell you, is rough. This is going to be rough. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. Now, I don't know about Mark Meadows. I imagine he will be out there, but Steve Bannon is going to be very vocal before and after his testimony. He's going to handle it in a certain way. He's not going to let them run all over him. And I don't know how this works. You get a subpoena, so you got to appear. Does that subpoena... See, usually what happens, they ask, no matter what the hearing is about, they'll ask a question that's really not a question, but a statement. Do you eat puppies? No, I don't. Reclaiming my time. And you don't get to deny that you don't eat puppies. Now, this is what I've always wondered. And I think we may find out the answer to the question I'm going to ask you in this hearing. If they ask those types of questions, which they will do, they're going to accuse Steve Bannon and Meadows of being part of treason and insurrection against the United States. When they attempt to, and this will be Cheney, Kissinger, and all the rest, okay? When they go to respond, which they don't want to do, Mark Meadows and Steve Bannon are very sophisticated. They can handle these people like I was handling that Democrat lady from Louisiana today. With their eyes closed, half asleep, they'll be able to handle them. But when they pull this reclaim my time nonsense and don't let them respond, does the subpoena require them to sit there for that? Because we may very well see something that I've wanted to see for a long time. a witness being badgered, not allowed to answer the questions, being asked terrible questions that are really accusations by members of Congress, we may see for the very first time, and I hope to see this in particular with Steve Bannon, because he's a tough guy. Mark Meadows is too, but he's more gentlemanly than Steve Bannon. We may see Steve Bannon get up and walk out. And I've often wondered when these things happen. You know, now sometimes like when we're watching like the Kavanaugh hearings, Kamala and others ask terrible questions, and they sit there and take it because they want the appointment. They got to go through the process to get the appointment. But this is different. Bannon and Meadows don't need or want anything from them, and they're not trying to get confirmed or anything, okay? So if anyone has any answers to this, I've never seen it happen before. Can a witness who's being badgered, they've appeared, they're testifying, they're you know, they got the subpoena going, can they get up and walk out until they're allowed to answer? Is that allowed? Has a witness ever done this? I've never seen it. And I'm very much looking forward to it. Our number is toll-free from anywhere. I am looking forward to this. Because this January 6th committee, we already know what this kangaroo court is going to come up with. They might as well have already written what their findings are. Because we know what they're going to find, that President Trump backed an insurrection against the United States. That's what they're going to find. We know this. But this is going to be a very revealing and eventful hearing. And I really hope that Bannon, in particular, does testify. I do. I want to see that. I want to see that exchange. And I want to see what Steve Bannon does with that. All right, our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. K-A-N-E, and the number 1-888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Richie the bus driver, hey, what's up?
Mike, can I give you what's going to happen? I see the crystal.
Well, I don't know why you ask. You called in. Aren't you going to give me what you think? I don't know why you got to ask.
I'm going to give you my take. Lowest learner time. And that's what's going to happen. And they're going to have lawyers saying, and they're going to be badgered. And they're going to sit there and say, I'm not answering them on the grounds it's going to incriminate me. And that's just about.
Oh, you think Bannon? You think Steve Bannon's going to take the Fifth Amendment?
They're going to frustrate these people. The committee hearing. They're going to give their speeches. They're going to give their opening statement, and then they're going to.
People don't remember lowest learner. That's interesting. Take the Fifth. Well, you know, I don't know if that's the way. Who did you hear say that, or did you come up with that?
I watched that lowest learner hearing.
Okay. So this is your prediction. This isn't like an analyst you heard. Yeah. Well, you know, I don't want that to happen because the fifth is like an admission to, you know, typically.
Well, no, what there's going to be is they're going to make if they testify, they're going to try to hang them, and if they don't testify, they're going to.
Well, they got to show up. Unless Trump stops it with executive privilege, which I believe will fail because he has no allies.
Well, all they have to do is look at in a court of law, and it's a court. The subpoena means nothing. It's a kangaroo court, but it's a big show. They're going to get up there and they're going to attack all four of these people, and they're going to make their stinking statements, and then when they don't answer, they're going to be frustrated. I predict that whole hearing will last 30 minutes, and they'll walk out and they'll be all.
Well, no, they'll still ask their questions.
Learners did that, and it was so frustrating to everybody because with the IRS. And that's
but what Lois Lerner did, is she gave a very long opening statement, and then did the Fifth Amendment. And all the analysts said, once you give an opening statement, you're talking to them. That's waiving your Fifth Amendment. And she was allowed to get away with it because she was with Obama. They're not going to let sloppy Steve Bannon and Mark Meadows get away with that.
They got the best lawyers in town. It's just like everything else. You can't divulge what the president said to you in confidence.
Yeah, but Bannon wasn't working for the White House then.
I'm telling you, this was going to happen. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want. I would like to see Bannon walk out when they don't let him answer and do that reclaiming my time crap.
You want to know when
they might arrest him. If they do that and he goes and walks out, they may arrest him right there on the spot. The Capitol Police, Sergeant of Arms, whoever's in charge. they may detain him right there.
Well, Liz Cheney, this is going to be great for her campaign with George Bush having a rally for her, because that'll be the info commercial. This is your Republican Liz Cheney, and I'm telling you, she's cutting her throat here. They're not gonna answer these people because they know it's the kind of court. Would you sit there and answer anything?
Well, when you get a subpoena from Congress, you have no choice.
No choice. You have to show up, but you don't have to say nothing.
That's correct. It's still America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right, Richie the bus driver. I don't know if that's the way I want to go down. What are your thoughts? 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. All right, let's take our break, okay? We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires, and when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going for now, man. Everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man. And Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the Biostation West Delray. At Biostation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Oh, man. All right. 10 minutes after 10 minutes before the top of the hour. I'm Brian. See, I'm getting like Biden. See, that Biden stuff's contagious. Welcome back, everyone. 10 minutes before 7. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. You know, each day, the time when I'm awake and I'm most peaceful is that moment when my alarm goes off and I wake up in the morning, because I am sleeping and waking up on my Pillow mattress topper. And you know, you hear my wife talking about how the mattress topper from My Pillow got rid of her back pain, hasn't returned. And when I wake up every morning on that My Pillow mattress topper, it is the most comfortable and peaceful I feel all day long. In fact, some of the most peaceful times I've ever felt in my life. It is so comfortable, so soft, so perfect, and it's really changed my life. I am getting the most rested night's sleep I have gotten in my entire life. I wake up each morning when my alarm clock goes off, which I've never done before. I sleep the whole night through. And you know, this My Pillow mattress topper, there's no wires, no remotes, no remote parts or anything, no moving parts. It's just a comfortable mattress pad you put on top. It has a strap on each corner to put on your mattress, and it keeps it firm and in place. It is wonderful. It is made right here in the USA, has a 10-year warranty, a zippered removable cover that's washable and dryable, okay? And I've washed and dried all my MyPillow products, and every time they're just like new. I haven't dealt with any shrinkage or anything on any of the products, from the pet beds to the mattress topper. And a 60-day money-back guarantee if you're not satisfied, which I cannot imagine that not happening. Now, when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, you save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows. It's a great deal, isn't it? You know, they come in every size: twin, twin XL, full, queen, RV queen. king, California king, split king. Yeah, get one for your children, too. They'll love it. They'll sleep the night through. Every size imaginable. I love mine. I know you will love your mattress topper from MyPillow. And also, MyPillow, Mike Lindell, offers 0% financing on all orders over $50. 0% financing at MyPillow.com on all orders over $50. So again, the mattress topper, it'll change your life. It really will. 30% off and 2 free MyPillows when you use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. It's very interesting. I've been talking about something for the past few months. Tucker brought it up the other night, and now Charlie Kirk has brought it up. And they're out there trying to destroy Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's a good guy. He's amazing. Charlie Kirk has taken the youth away from the Democrats. The youth, the college-aged group of people, is one of those demographics that Democrats have taken for granted, at least since the Vietnam War era, but probably longer than that. And they're losing them in large numbers, in large part because of the great work that Charlie Kirk and his organization have done. And Charlie Kirk was talking yesterday about something I've been talking about, which is this border disaster and what it's all about. And I've been telling you it's about making the country more black and brown, that the Democrats believe that if they could make the country less white, in particular red states less white, that they'll be in power forever and ever and ever. And Charlie Kirk was talking about this. This is from Mediaite, which is left-wing, very left-wing Mediaite, but they write about what Charlie Kirk was saying yesterday in a way that's, a little negative. Charlie Kirk, this is the headline, Charlie Kirk wants to start a border militia to protect white demographics in America, they say. On his radio show Thursday, Charlie Kirk advocated for the creation of a citizen force to be sent to the U.S.-Mexico border to protect against the invasion of the country by Haitian refugees and prevent the diminishing and decreasing of white demographics in America. Charlie Kirk played a clip from Fox News reporting that the Department of Homeland Security said they had deported 1,700 Haitians back to Haiti, but allowed 3,000 to come into America. He turned his criticism to the state of Texas, saying that Texas allowed this to happen. This is where some criticism of Governor Abbott is coming from. Texas should have intervened, said Charlie Kirk. They should have. Mediaite writes this: it should be noted that Charlie Kirk not only does not have a law degree, he never completed college. So his assertions about what Texas could have done to usurp federal law are, to paraphrase the dude, just like his opinion, man. He didn't graduate college. Yeah? Well, you know what? Either did Rush Limbaugh or Sean Hannity. Some of the dumbest people I know not only have college degrees, but advanced college degrees. But this is a delicate topic to talk about, because when you talk about what the Democrat strategy is, with the southern border being completely open while the Canadian border has been shut down and still is shut down today, they do to them what they just did to Charlie Kirk. Now all of a sudden he's a white supremacist. Really? He's a white supremacist? He made Candace Owens a household name. So how's he a white supremacist? Please tell me. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey Brian, it's Greg too.
Greg too, what's up?
So some of the dumbest people, I just got to comment on that last. Some of the things you say are so outlandish. So give me one dumb person that has a graduate degree. Give me one example.
Excuse me? I didn't hear the question. You cut out.
Are you hard of hearing, or are you hard of...
No, your phone line cut out. I didn't hear what you said.
One, like you're saying some of the dumbest people you know have graduate degrees.
Oh, Kamala Harris. Give you an example one, Kamala Harris.
Harris is not... Listen, she was actually...
Kamala Harris, she has a law degree.
She's not stupid. She's a liberal, that's all. She's not stupid.
Oh, yeah, she's very stupid. I've heard her speak. Yeah, she's very stupid.
You know, to go to law school is a great accomplishment. You guys belittle attorneys and you say things about me, other callers. It's an accomplishment, Brian.
Okay.
7 years, and to go to 7 years of school, and law school is, you never did it. You never had a...
Oh, I know. See? Yeah.
No, but you know what it does? It brings it up another notch. You have to be... You know what the Socratic method, by the way, is?
Yeah. Listen here, Greg. This is an interesting thing about Greg's calls. Greg 2, you guys, and I imagine you've noticed this. When Greg 2 calls in, I don't have an exact... Oh, you're making the point. Well, I'm also talking to the listening audience, okay, not just you. I know you're very self-centered and everything's about you, but I'm talking to the listening audience as well. But what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by Greg 2 is that when Greg 2 calls in, at least 85% of his content is about him and what people have said about him, and then the rest of it is how he feels like about me. It's very strange. Mostly what your calls are about are you talking about yourself and what you've done and what you're about.
Brian, like you actually insult me constantly.
See, you're talking about yourself right now. You're talking about yourself right now.
Let me ask you this question, Brian. You stated yesterday, if you had started, you would contribute to anybody.
Well, not anybody. I didn't say anybody. I said if I was starting a MAGA radio station in California and I needed some help, I would donate to a Democrat politician to get it built. Yes. See, now didn't you say he was talking about himself? Now he's talking about me.
No, I'm asking you. You don't.
That was right.
But as far as the subpoena power, now your predictions, you're like maybe 10% accurate on your predictions. Do you think anybody under subpoena power from Congress is going to walk out? No, you're under...
I didn't say they were going to walk out. I said, can they? No, I did. I said I would like to see that. I've always wondered if they could.
Why would you like to see that? So they violate the subpoena and get put in jail?
What happens is... I didn't say any of that stuff.
That's what you said. I want to see him get up.
I would. Well, no. What happens in all these hearings is they ask a terrible question. Oh yeah, it does. They ask a terrible. Well, at least the ones that are interesting enough and relevant enough to watch on TV. They ask the questions, right? And then when the witness begins to answer, and they don't let them answer, they say, "Reclaiming my time," and then they ask another terrible question. And that kind of badgering, I don't see Steve Bannon putting up with that kind of abuse.
Steve Bannon, listen, you get up there, you tell the truth to Congress, what you know, to the best of your knowledge, your capability, and then you end it. That's it. You answer their questions to the best of your ability. Truthfully, you're under oath, and you're under, perjury possibly. But you act like, you know what the problem is? No one, and by the way, you know what? I got to say something about Andrea. Is she like Roseanne Barr? She sounds like her, in appearance. I'm just curious about it. At the end of the day, you go there, you tell the truth, to the best of your ability.
What are you saying? Are you asking because Andrea has called you out? Are you asking if she's fat and unattractive? Is that what you're saying? Because what other kind of woman would not? What other kind of woman would reject you, right?
You can make your own interpretation.
So this is a very interesting call because all you've talked about is yourself, what people think of you, and then a couple things about me.
I informed you about the subpoena power and how you can't get up and just walk away.
No, I don't. That's not your area of expertise in law.
Then it's basic law school knowledge.
I don't know about that.
A powerful tool to make people before Congress or in court and tell the truth. And by the way, well, no, there's no by the ways.
I got a break, Greg. I got a break, or we're late for a break. I went over. We're a minute past the hour. It's 1 minute past 7. It's now 2 past 7. We'll take our break for the top. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. If you're on hold, stand by. All right, we'll get back to our calls after this break. Hour number 2 begins now.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Well, as you know, Brian, I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years and years.
Be right back, guys. I got to get a drink of water.
Long ago, but it still was not doing the trick. So I said to you, let's get the MyPillow mattress topper and let's see if it helps or makes any kind of a difference. And I have to tell you, after sleeping on it just one night, I woke up no pain. I felt incredible. It made a huge, huge difference for me. And the pain has not returned.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to MyPillow.com and order your MyPillow mattress topper and do what Kathy and I did. Use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And this is an incredible
Steve
deal
Kane
because
Show.
with the promo code KANE, you will save 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper and get 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Hi, my name is Tom Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 19...
Remember, you're on the...
We are state of Florida certified.
In the old days, you would have brought that guy into the studio with you and Steve, or even Steve alone, and just would have creamed him.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's such an ass.
I think he's too out of control to have in the studio. I don't think he'd be able to control himself. You know, I wouldn't have him in. No. 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 No way. I'm not going to ban Greg. Why would we ban Greg?
No. He's a great big...
Yeah, he's a good caller.
Stirring it up.
Yeah, he's a good caller. He makes liberals look like jerks.
He doesn't even have to try.
Yeah.
Kane 2022 MAGA Cruise is a go. Leaving January 21st on the Celebrity Equinox out of Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale. Join Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, for 9 nights cruising the Caribbean.
Well, he's an attorney, but he's not that kind of attorney.
Cayman Island, Bonaire, Curacao.
Oh, somebody asked me about this. This is not the... This is... I have a wedding band that's gold, the one I had when I got married. But my wife and I also have these are matching bands. It's a Star Wars wedding band.
5779.
That's the symbol of the Rebel Alliance and the Empire. My wife has one too. But we have our regular wedding rings too. But, you know. MAGA forever, that's right.
Longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And now, here's Steve.
All right, guys, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Hour number 2 has begun. We're going to go right back to our very busy phones. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Shalia.
Hey, Shalia.
I have a thought, if you don't mind. I'd like to share it. It's mostly about this border crisis.
Okay.
I noticed something that nobody seems to be noticing. And this started with a video that I just saw about this Biden, whoever you want to call him, 30 years ago, made a comment. As far as he's concerned, Haiti can fall into the ocean.
He said if Haiti sunk into the ocean or rose up into the sky, it wouldn't matter. What he was saying is Haiti doesn't matter in the world, and that means the people of Haiti don't matter in the world, yeah.
Oh, if you please allow me to continue this thought. Now, with all these Haitians coming in, does anybody realize, did they take any of the Central Americans back? No. They're only the Haitians. I don't think whoever's behind this was expecting that. Now, with that in mind, our government's in chaos. Everybody knows that. It is not working. This is America, and I am an American, and I will go down screaming because, I'm not going to go quietly.
All right. Well, okay. Well, you got to, Can't quite go that direction. All right, good morning. You're on the radio.
Hello, Brian.
Yeah, what's your name?
Hey, it's Ben from Pompano. How you doing?
All right, what's up, Ben in Pompano?
Good. Do you mind if I make a comment about Greg 2 calling in real quick?
Oh, no, Greg, that's Greg's favorite topic himself, so yeah, I'm sure he won't mind either.
First off, I just want 2 points. One point is, like, how pathetic is it that you have to listen to a show that you seemingly don't like, wait to get triggered, and then call in and complain about people being mean to you? And then secondly, you are absolutely right. I went to school in Boston, and I can't tell you how flabbergasting it is, the minds that are going through our colleges.
I mean, look at AOC. AOC is a college graduate. Look at her.
It's not impressive at all. It truly is not impressive. The quality of education has gone down so much. The administrative apparatus around it, which allows people to get in, is so diluted that it's not the education system we had of yesteryear. So for him to call in and be like, oh, law school, I bet people have gone through law school and they can't even point to, like, you know, do basic geography. Like, if you ask them...
Well, this is the thing, okay? You know, I went to college as an adult, you know, and here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. There are a huge chunk of college graduates, and I'm talking about all the way up to, you know, even physicians in some instances. They're very good at memorizing, and a lot of people are not good at memorizing. So if you're very good at memorizing, you can get a degree in anything, no matter how advanced you need to be, you know? That's not being smarter than someone. And by the way, even having a degree doesn't mean, you know, let me tell you, I was really amazed once at, I was talking to someone this many years ago who was this was not on the radio, this was in my personal life. He was a construction worker who dropped out of high school, and they were doing advanced algebra and geometry because they're in the construction business and they know it. Just because somebody is credentialed with a degree doesn't mean they're smarter than anyone else.
Not a good investment anymore when you're paying $60,000, $70,000 a year, and some of the real smart people aren't going to college. And I agree with you where the to your earlier point is all you need is a narrow set of faculties to do well in school. Recall, memory, test taking, but that doesn't mean you're an intellectual. It doesn't mean you can come up with unique and interesting ideas.
I get it. You know, when I was in high school, this will sound like bragging, but it's not. It just illustrates the point. When I was in high school, we had standardized testing, and I had the highest reading level. I scored as the highest reading level in my class in high school. And it's not that I was the best reader. I just knew how to take the standardized test. You know, where you read the passage, and then you got to, what's the main idea, and all of these things. And I would just read the questions first, then I would read the passage. And I had the highest reading level in the school. It wasn't because I was the best reader. I just knew a test-taking technique that other kids didn't know.
Exactly. And, you know, that's really all I want to say. This illusion that college education is what it used to be, it certainly isn't. So.
Well, they have open enrollment at all the state universities now. You don't have to even graduate high school to get into college. I mean, and look at Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh never went to college, or at least never graduated college. I don't know if he went and did
himself.
Exactly. You know, and if the Chinese or the North Koreans sent out that EMP pulse weapon, and everything was fried, the college graduates are going to be in trouble.
Going to college now almost seems like a detriment because the way children are coming out nowadays, they're more fragile, they're more sympathetic towards socialism. Like, it's not necessary. Business owners who say they won't hire Ivy League grads anymore. They only hire people who have a profile that's proven a track record of success. And a lot of these people coming out of high school now with the internet and are just savvy technology, and they find they can make money without college through crypto trading and other, streaming and other ideas. So really, it's kind of like, it's nothing to brag about anymore. It's not a big deal.
Well, to Greg too, it means a lot. I'll tell you, it's a funny thing. My wife and I was, we sold one of our cars, my old Ford Explorer that Champagne Automotive did all the great work on it, and I was going through our files at home looking for the title, and I came across my college degrees were in a file in the back of the filing cabinet, and I was telling my wife, I said, what a joke, I worked so hard for this, you know, and why isn't it on the wall? And I have it, you know, and it's in a filing cabinet, you know. I bet you Greg's degrees are all on the wall behind him in his office, so anytime anyone comes in, they can see all of them.
People who put PhD in their Twitter handle, they need the world to know that, you know, and that really...
You know, Steve Kane has 2 master's degrees? How many of you knew that? He has 2 master's degrees.
Didn't.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. The people who, I don't know, it's almost like the Dunning-Kruger effect, the people who have more confidence in...
Yeah, and since he has 2 master's degrees, by grade 2 standards, Steve Kane has 2 master's degrees. A law degree is this one. So he's more credentialed he's smarter than Greg. He has more degrees.
Right. The logic outranks them.
Exactly. What a jerk.
All
right, take care. Andrea, Greg too wants to know if you're fat and ugly. Because what other kind of woman would take issue with him? Oh my goodness.
Well, just know this, Brian, right? First of all, I've been called worse by better.
Yes.
Right. So there's a couple of trolls in the chat room that troll me all the time. I do talk loud. I know I talk loud, but I spend the majority of my morning yelling at people while I teach boot camp. I get more done by 6 a.m. than Greg too probably does all week. So of course he would take a crack at me about my appearance because that's what weak, spineless beta males do. So it's no shock to me that he would take a crack at me.
Yeah.
And the thing that he should just realize is that it doesn't matter to me. I don't care what he thinks. I don't respect him as a person. So his opinion means absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He's, you know, he played his hand, right? So I agree with the last caller. Why are you listening to a radio show that clearly triggers you to the point where you have to call in and make everything about you like, you know, like what? I actually pity him.
Yeah.
And him. That he's that.
You know, that's a funny, you know, like the other call, the liberal lady. Oh, I only listen during the times I'm calling you. Then I don't listen before, I don't listen after, just when I'm calling you, I listen. You know, it's a weird thing, you know, about people talking to people on the radio. Steve and I, a radio person many years ago died, Rick Siderman, who was a conservative radio talk show host here. This was a long time ago. This was 2009. And Steve and I went to the funeral, of course, because he was, you know, friends with us. And there was a whole collection of radio people there. And every single one of them would begin by, oh, I don't listen to you guys anymore on the radio. What's going on? And then you start talking to them, they know everything about you. There's just a weird thing where people always have to tell you they're not listening, they're forced to listen. They just can't admit, hey, you got the greatest radio show anywhere, I love the show and I listen. They just can't give you that thing. They always got to act like they don't listen, they're forced to listen, they have a radio that only gets your station. And it's amazing because Steve and I have been together on several radio stations, and these special radios, the Chronics seem to always get, where it only gets the radio station that carry the Steve Kane Show. It's amazing. Hey, whatever place is selling radios that only get our radio station, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, it's bizarre.
Well, it's like they're masochistic, right? They don't like what you're saying. They don't know how to stop you from saying it. So it probably, in like Greg Two's mind, if he just calls you and tells you to stop letting me speak on the air, he'll save humanity.
Oh, I think Greg too adds something to the show. I think his calls are interesting. I enjoy his calls.
Well, here's the thing, Brian. I don't agree with Greg Two's point. I don't like how he speaks to you, but I will defend Greg too.
Well, let me explain what I mean. Like you've been a conservative for how long?
Not that long.
How long? Tell people. How long?
Maybe a little bit over a year.
Yeah, okay, about a year or so. You know, I meet listeners. This is the longest running radio show in the state of Florida, on the radio since 1977, in case you hadn't heard me mention it 20 times a show. Well, I do, because people call me from other radio stations and have challenged that they got a show that's longer. I think, okay, when did it? 87. Sorry. Here's the thing. I meet listeners all the time, as does Steve, that come up to us at appearances and say, you know, I was a liberal, I listened to you guys for 5 years, 8 years, 12 years, however long, and now I'm a conservative. I used to be a liberal, you know, and when I was first on the air with Steve, I was a liberal, and two things turned me into a conservative. This was long before Trump was on the scene. One was the first year that I owed money to the IRS at tax season. That was a big one. It was over $3,000, and I thought a mistake was made because I never owed money before. I always got money back. That was a big one. But that was a big one. I'm serious. That was a big one. But the other thing was this. You know, we have our overnight rebroadcast, and I would listen to the show on the way into work in the morning, and I would hear myself defending this liberal, trying to defend this liberal crap, and I sounded like an idiot. You know, and that was, you know, it was a transition. It wasn't night and day, but you know, many people that listen to this program, like you, like me, used to be liberal and have realized the error of their ways. And so I think it's good to talk to a lot of MAGA people, like you shouldn't talk to Democrats, you shouldn't talk to liberals. There's a lot of people like you that are new to MAGA, and there's a little bit of that liberalism still inside. You know, when somebody gives up alcohol and they go to AA, every once in a while they stop by a bar and have a drink, and it's, you know, a lot of the new conservatives who were liberals like you a year ago or 2 years ago, or still have a little bit of that cancel culture liberalism in your veins that you haven't quite detoxed from yet. It's very good to talk to the other side and to have them participate, because they like that one woman that called today and yesterday, the black lady from Louisiana, that was yesterday. I said, well, why are you a Democrat? And she couldn't tell me. Remember? Nobody's ever asked her that before. You don't think that got her thinking? Today she was praising Al Sharpton because he's done so much for civil rights. And I said to her, well, can you give me an example of something that he has accomplished? What civil right do blacks have today that they didn't have before because of Sharpton? That gets people thinking like her. So it's not just banter or bickering. It's logical discussion that turns people.
Well, here's the thing, right? So you provide a medium for people to speak their minds, and I agree with that, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate every time you take my call, because now, you know, with the cancel culture thing, what they want people to do is sit down and shut up, right? So I agree. I think the best way for us as a country to move forward is to speak to each other.
Yeah.
There has to be some common line where instead of constantly calling you, and I'm going to break too, and saying, you shouldn't allow her to say that.
Not at all. Not at all. Look, Candace Owens is one of the most important conservative women in America today. Back in 2016, after Trump came down on the escalator, she was a liberal Democrat. And remember when they were, Marco Rubio in 2016 was talking about Donald Trump's hand size, which was a reference to penis size. Remember all that? Candace Owens, yeah. They said, Marco Rubio said, oh, he has small hands, and he would laugh because he was implying that Trump had a small penis. I don't know, that penthouse playmate didn't say anything about that. She said he was a generous lover and very good in bed. But Candace Owens back in that time was a liberal. She was on Periscope and Twitter, and she was making jokes about President Trump and his small penis and things like this. And look at her now. She got red-pilled. So, talking to liberals and inviting liberals to be a part of the conversation is a good thing. I mean, think about it. If you know, oh boy, what's the guy's name? Gosh darn it, he was big on Periscope. He's on Cernovich, Mike Cernovich, good guy, Mike Cernovich. Mike Cernovich reached out to Candace Owens. It was somebody else, I can't remember who, but Mike Cernovich was part of what turned Candace Owens into a red-pilled conservative. And you know, so you don't want to shut off these liberals. It's a good thing, and it helps us.
Shut grade 2 off, but I'm certainly not going to stand by and let him attack me, especially not. Well,
you seem to be on his mind. You know, yeah.
You know what? Well, you know, it's a little obsessive.
Yep. All right, Andrea, I got to run for a break, but thanks for the call. We're very late for the break. All right, 23 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. If you're on hold, stand by. Don't go anywhere. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE1. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. I just love Dr. Gupta. I've been seeing him for around 3 years. He always has time for me. He never does unnecessary work, and his prices are very affordable. And if you need implants, go see him because he has the best prices around. Let me give you the number. Write it down. It's 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. 4633, BrightonDentalCare.com. He's just the best.
Brian Craig here. When it comes to auto repair, you want a garage that you can trust. Someone that will only do work on your car when your car needs work. Introducing Champagne Automotive.
Now, listen, guys, I'm doing something today. Oh, Daryl, you know, you cannot attack our sponsors, Daryl. That is one thing that will get you disappeared from the show. So we'll give him a warning. You cannot attack our sponsors. I'm sorry. Today at 9:15, my podcast is going to go live premiere here on my YouTube channel with the chat room. And I don't normally do that. I usually put my podcast on at night. But I had a typo on the thumbnail, so I took it down last night and I'm re-uploaded it. And I thought, hey, let me try it in the morning because I know some of you guys are itching for some stuff in the morning. So you'll get the notification if you have the notifications clicked. It'll be about 9:15, and there'll be a chat room in there. Okay.
Because most are like this guy you were dealing with the other day over in Tamarack, Crooks. And
no, I didn't block Daryl. I just I put him in a timeout, the penalty box.
So I appreciate you calling in and telling us the good story. Now, Champagne Automotive, they're in Boca off Spanish River Boulevard, immediately west of Dixie Highway. The number is...
Yeah, I think Greg too has a thing for Andrea. We don't have a lot of rules here, but bad-mouthing our sponsors, you can't do that.
Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid
I don't know what Andrea looks like. I have no idea.
throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA.
Hey, Debbie. Debbie's one of my Patreon supporters. Hey, guys, welcome back. 26 minutes after the hour. This show's almost half over? Are you kidding me? I hadn't even gotten to the issues and the stories yet, hardly. Oh, man. Show's flying by. All right, let's take some more calls. 1-888-GO-KANE1. 888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
You know, if everyone wants to have a laugh, they can look up stupid things that attorneys have said in court, and there's some really idiotic things that these people say. So you don't have to be that smart to be an attorney, apparently. Pretty funny stuff. Everybody should look it up. Anyway, the Steve Bannon, like what you said, I hope they're going to make as much trouble as they can for the Congress people, because these people are just wasting their time. Another witch hunt again. You know, last night, Tucker showed all these pictures of everybody walking through the Capitol. And everybody's just nice, taking pictures. And like I said, mostly peaceful protest.
I saw there's new video that has come out from the Capitol breach. And, looked like a tourist group just hanging out.
So, you know, I mean, what I thought was really interesting was he showed the other when they first broke through. Those people dressed in black, I don't know who they were, but they don't seem like they were mega people. They were, I think.
Well, you know, I've seen this footage several times, and I've not seen them identified yet. The person who broke, there was someone who broke the window next to the door, crawled through it, and opened up the door. I don't know who that person was. Obviously, there were a lot of MAGA people in there, you know, like Ashley Babbitt.
Not the first few that walked.
Well, you know, Tucker Carlson, I'm glad you brought this up, because I wanted to bring this up earlier, and I just had forgotten, and you reminded me. Because Tucker Carlson, he's starting a discussion, and he was implying last night that January 6th was an inside job. And, and this thing they did last weekend, where most of the people in attendance were undercover cops. And remember, the Capitol Police, there like 5 MAGA people showed up, and we don't even know if they were really MAGA or fake MAGA, but most of them were undercover law enforcement. Capitol Police arrested a guy, and then he showed his badge, he was undercover. You know, and a lot of people like Tucker, I think, are looking at that incident from Saturday and finally saying, whoa, is that what they did on January 6th? They just knew there'd be a big event because Trump was speaking that day, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, these things will come out.
I would think that maybe a Republican might bring it up, but I don't think Democrats are going to just...
This January 6th hearing, with, you know, we've got Kissinger and Liz Cheney as the Republican representation. The conclusion has already been concluded, right? It's already been written. It's a kangaroo court. It's, you know, Trump incited an insurrection. That's what they're gonna say. You know, we know that. You know, but there will be eventually more and more will come out. But what's going to happen with the January 6th incident? The left will always call it the insurrection. The liberals write the history books, so the books on it will call it an insurrection, the January 6th insurrection. And boom. You know, I have the Bob Woodward book. I got the audio book. I've been listening to it. And I'm only in the 2nd or 3rd chapter. I'm going to listen to as much of it as I can. I'm going up to Orlando tomorrow with my daughter. And I'm going to, my daughter's driving. So I'm going to listen to it on the way up. She doesn't want to listen to the Woodward book. So I'll listen to it in my earphones. And I'll listen to it on the way back. And that's like a big chunk of the book. Anytime they're talking about Trump in the insurrection, he's an unhinged lunatic who organized an insurrection, and Joe Biden's just a hard-working guy from Scranton. You know, I mean, it's like it's really, when they're in this book, and I'm glad that I had the audio book, because the narrator is not Bob Woodward. I don't remember the name of the narrator, but he's a well-known narrator. And when he's talking about Biden, it's just wonderful. I hear like butterflies in the background kind of things, you know, and rainbows. And when they're talking about Trump, he's a lunatic, you know. And there's the first, it's not a chapter. It's like the prologue is about the insurrection and the Milley and Pelosi conspiracy. And then the first chapter is Joe Biden on how he heard President Trump call them as good people in Charlottesville after this girl was killed by a white supremacist, and he was called from the basement that something had to be done about this man, Donald Trump. We could not let this racist man be. I know. I mean, I couldn't believe when it's hard to. In fact, I'm glad my daughter's not going to listen to the book, because I don't want her to hear that. I don't want her to be brainwashed by that.
Buy that book, Ellie.
Mm-hmm. All right, Doug, take care. Let me take one more call, then we'll break. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian. It's Ian.
Oh, hey, Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. Oh, man. I need a vacation, and we've got one coming, because at the end of January, our Steve Kane 2022 MAGA cruise will be sailing out of Port Everglades and Fort Lauderdale for 9 nights of just 9 days of just, is it nights or days? I don't know, but it's a 9-day cruise, and we're going to have a great time. What's going on, Ian? What's the latest updates on our cruise? I know we have our sail away party all firmed up.
Sail away party's all firmed up. Our cocktail party's all.
Now let's talk about this sail away party. This sail away party is, now we're going on the newly remodeled Celebrity Equinox, which we took a cruise on a few cruises ago, but now it's been completely remodeled and redone. You won't even recognize the ship. And we're doing our sail away party on the bow of the ship where the helicopter pad is. This is a private party with our group. We'll be up there with officers of the ship will be with us, and sipping champagne as we sail out with the sunset out of Port Everglades.
100% correct.
Oh.
We've got some really awesome activities planned, and just like you said, the ship has been completely gutted, completely remodeled, and from what I've heard from clients who've been sailing, it still has that new car smell.
Oh, I love that. That's the best. That's the best. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, and those of you that have been on the Celebrity Equinox, you're not going to recognize the ship. And you know, we have a lot of activities planned on board. We're going to have a great time. We're going to Grand Cayman, Bonaire, Curacao, Aruba, and we're going to, as we get a little closer, Ian and I will start firming up our shore excursions, which we're already working on. And this is our longest cruise yet. It's 9 days, and because of all the weirdness going on in the world, the number of people on the ship's going to be very low. Now, normally on this ship, what's the passenger capacity typically?
Normally, the passenger count on Equinox is 2,850. Now, I had a client who sailed on Equinox about 10 days ago, and they told me there were just under 1,000 guests on.
Oh my goodness! So basically, we're going to have our own private luxury cruise ship on this 9-day cruise in the Caribbean. That's going to be wonderful, and we're gonna have a great time. I'll be there with my daughter. We have dinner together every night. We've got shipboard activities planned, and almost all of you are invited. Liberal Al the John is not invited to be a part of our group, and every couple of cruises, we'll a couple of people will try to stow away in our group. This is a MAGA group, okay? This is a MAGA group, we may not mind talking to liberals on the phone, but liberals are not invited to be a part of our group. That's for sure. This is a MAGA group, and it's going to be a MAGA good time. Now, if you have not made reservations and would like to join us, there's incredible deals because the way of the world now. You're going to Ian got this cruise set up for us during the height of the pandemic when prices were low for cruises. So we have got an incredible deal for all different cabin classes and sizes on this cruise. So everyone but Al the John in this listening audience is invited to join us, and you should definitely call Ian. And those of you that have already made reservations, give Ian a call. We got a lot of planning and things that we need your input and consultations on with Ian. So if you already have a reservation, make sure you call Ian as well. And his number over there is 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. That's Ian with Cruise and Travel Depot. Did I leave anything out, Ian?
Celebrity a little bit, and they let me keep a few cabins for people who want to do, we always get a few last minute bookings, so given that history, they've let me hold on to a few rooms. Also, for book guests, final payment is due.
Oh.
After 9 a.m., office business hours, so I can process that. Now, someone who was booked for Edge has a small balance.
Okay, well, that's good. So let me give out the number again. It's Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. All right, Ian, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the cruise. All right, take care. All right, we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Seniors, Medicare open enrollment is quickly approaching. Make sure you get the right coverage. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Hey guys, we're back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. Steve will be joining us after the top of the hour break. Steve had a very eventful morning yesterday. I don't know if he's going to share it with you guys or not. I should have asked him before the show. I talked to Steve before the show. I meant to ask him, and I'm asking you now, Steve. If not, people could just wonder. Steve had a very eventful morning yesterday morning, after the show, immediately after the show. So let me, this one burns me. Okay, now the Daily Wire, that's Ben Shapiro's online publication, right? Ben Shapiro's online publication. Ben Shapiro was a never-Trumper, okay? He wrote a column back in the 2016 campaign, and the headline was "Why I Will Never Vote for Donald Trump." And I have an old phrase: I never trust a never-Trumper. I usually say it better than that, so I'll say it again: never trust a never-Trumper. Except Mark Levin, because Mark Levin has gotten the approval of President Trump. But Glenn Beck was a never-Trumper. I'm always cautious on Candace Owens as well. She was a never-Trumper, but I trust her. And Ben Shapiro, I did like his movie, Run, Hide, Fight. I thought that was a spectacular movie. Pretty good. I thought it was a very good movie. His movie on the school shooting was very good that he produced. But Ben Shapiro was a never-Trumper. And every once in a while, it comes out. I know he claims that he's a Trump guy now. The Daily Wire has a story. It's not written by Ben Shapiro, but it's on his website. Here's the headline. New poll, Pence tops DeSantis by double digits. Pence tops DeSantis by double digits in poll of 2024 contenders. Former Vice President Mike Pence holds a double-digit lead over Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, according to a poll released Monday. This is in Ben Shapiro's The Daily Wire. Without Donald Trump in the race, the poll of 490 registered Republicans conducted by the Center for American Political Studies at Harvard University and the Harris poll put Pence at 32%, DeSantis at 20%. Nikki Haley, Marco Rubio tied for 4th place, garnering 3% each. Okay. This is garbage, okay? Now, granted, Ron DeSantis is not as well known as Pence around America. He's my governor, so I know who he is quite well, okay? But I know a lot of you guys too. MAGA people know who Ron DeSantis is. So I understand there's more name recognition with Pence. But is there anyone who agrees with this poll being accurate or just a fake poll? You know, there are what I call, they're called push polls. There's most of the polls that are out there. Well, the polls that we see are all push polls. The real scientific polls are done by campaigns and they never release them. The internals, they're called. There's the internals and then there's push polls. And there's push polls, and the reason they call them push polls is these are polls designed to push you in a certain direction on a candidate, on an issue, whatever it is. Okay? For reasons which I don't have to tell you, MAGA does not like Pence. Okay? And for Ben Shapiro's publication to have a poll up there telling you that Pence is beating DeSantis in a 2024 poll without Trump in the poll by double digits is absurd. Absurd. Okay? It's a joke. And this is the kind of things I've been talking about the last couple days, about how we're already in campaign season. Campaign season really doesn't start till next year for the midterm elections, but we're already there. And the Never-Trumpers are out. The Never-Trumpers are already doing their work, and that's what this is. I was telling Steve yesterday that Pence has raised, I think it was $13 million, did I read? Was it $13 million? Anybody see that story? And for a run for president? Are you kidding me? Pence is a Never-Trumper now. Okay? Pence is a Never-Trumper. And these Never-Trumpers are very sneaky. And you know, Ben Shapiro, most conservatives I talk to don't like Ben Shapiro. Anyway, he's not likable. He talks too fast. He talks like an auctioneer. He says he talks so fast because he has so much to say, and he's got to talk fast to get everything out that people need to hear, which is pretty arrogant. But he's a Never-Trumper. And he will always be a Never-Trumper. And this story, presented in the way as if this is a legitimate poll, not a push poll, is an example of that on his website. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hi, Brian.
Yeah, what's your name?
Yeah, I'm Jim. Cool.
Hey, Jim, Coral Springs, what's up?
I think it's kind of interesting because I don't think Pence would ever meet it at that level.
Well, I don't know exactly why President Trump chose Pence. I think maybe he was afraid of not losing the Christian base, the Christian vote, and maybe he pulled him in for that. But I used to talk about this when Trump picked him and when he was vice president. I'll never criticize President Trump ever, and I'll never disagree with him. But Pence, I never trusted, never liked, and I always said this from the beginning. And what I didn't like about Pence is I always felt like I never knew what he was about. I never saw his true personality, that he hid it from us. You know what I mean? And he did until the end. But do you think a poll is legit that has Pence beating DeSantis by double digits? Come on.
But it's funny, he started out talk radio like you, so you never know.
No, he was in. No, he did not. He was in. I think he was in Congress, and then he went to radio. Yeah, he was on. He was syndicated on a handful of radio. Can you imagine? That must have been a boring show.
Oh, yeah.
He may not have been in Congress. I may be wrong about that, but I think he was in politics first, then radio. I remember seeing. Well, I remember I was reading the talk radio trade publication, not because I thought it was worth reading, but the radio station subscribed to it. And I was flipping through it one day, and they had a big ad on one page was Mike Pence on syndicated on 5 radio stations, and he can be on yours too, So I never heard his radio show, Pence.
Yeah. So I think, what I miss most about Rush is his parodies, and he had some of the best Al Sharpton parodies going.
Oh yeah.
The guys who are in there now would be afraid to do the parodies that he had.
Well, listen, the people that are doing it. Here's the thing, Clay Travis. Okay, I don't know. I know he came from sports. I'm sure he's good at that. I've seen him on Fox many times talking about political issues involving sports, and he seems spot on. But sports talk is not talk radio. It's not. A lot of people think it is because it's called sports talk. That's not talk radio. The other guy, Buck Sexton. Let me finish on the other thing. Buck Sexton comes from Glenn Beck's The Blaze, Never-Trumpers University over there. And he's also a CIA guy. And You know, and Bongino, I like Bongino, don't get me wrong, but he was a federal agent. So it doesn't surprise it doesn't seem odd to you that the two people that replaced Rush on all of his radio stations are a federal agent and a CIA guy? Doesn't that seem crazy to you guys?
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, I got a question for you. Do you think somebody like Tucker could transition from what he does now to doing a Rush's show? I never talked about it with anybody before because I always respected Rush and I never wanted to think about anybody replacing him.
I think Tucker could do it, but why? You know, Tucker Tucker Carlson has the #1 rated show in the history of cable news, higher rated than Larry King, who had no competition. He is making boatloads of money doing this 1 hour show. Why would he want 3 hours of radio live is work in the middle of the day, in the middle of his day, and it's exhausting.
But Rush said he spent 3 hours to do a 30-minute TV show. So I was.
Well, that's because the reason that is because Rush was not a TV guy. He's a radio guy. I mean, I do a couple hours of show prep every morning, but I could not. I could walk in and, you know, I get it. Today I got here at the radio station 5 minutes before showtime and did it, you know, and I saw the setup, you know, but I'm not a TV guy. It's different. He's a TV guy. Radio is they're different genres, totally different things. I don't know. I wish they would have put O'Reilly on in there, tell you the truth. That would be my first pick, other than me and Steve, of course.
Yeah. Somebody like O'Reilly come back on and replace Kennedy, actually. But that's another story.
Yeah, Mr. Vanilla.
You guys do a great job, and, you know, radio's changing with all this YouTube and iHeartRadio. You're now, like, global, and you're reaching more people than you'd ever imagine.
It is. You know, when we do our cruises, you know, we have people that fly in from all over America, from coast to coast, that go on our cruises. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Hey, listen, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. You know where we have a lot of listeners at? Australia. We have so many listeners in Australia. I talked to Steve about this. We have so many listeners in Australia. We could do an appearance in Australia. By the way, if you're involved in advertising in Australia, we could probably do spots for businesses in Australia. We're big in Australia. You know, I don't know why that is. We're very big in Australia. We got a lot of listeners in Canada and the UK too, but Australia, we have a lot of listeners in Australia to this program. It blows my mind. Yeah. All right, listen, we're going to take our last break of this hour. When we come back, I'll go back to the call. Steve Kane will be joining us after the top of the hour break at 8. We'll be back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net. Hi, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her experience with the My Pillow mattress topper.
Well, as you know, Brian, I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years and years, and we had bought a new mattress not that long ago, but it still was not doing the trick. So I said to you, let's get the My Pillow mattress topper, and let's see if it helps or makes any kind of a difference. And I have to tell you, after sleeping on it just one night, I woke up no pain. I felt incredible. It made a huge, huge difference for me, and the pain has not returned.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to MyPillow.com and order your MyPillow
Steve Kane
mattress
Show.
topper and do what Kathy and I did.
Steve
Use
Kane
the
Show.
promo code Kane at checkout. K-A-N-E.
Hold on. Steve Kane Show.
And this
Hold
is
on.
an incredible
Steve Kane
deal
Show.
because with
Hold
the
on.
promo code Kane, you will save 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper and get 2 free My Pillows. But you've got to use the promo code Kane at checkout. K-A-N-E. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All righty, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Let's take another call or two. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning. I'm a second-time caller. I'm so glad I got through. Registered on Mike Pence. He is a member of the 33rd Freemasons. It's a very secret society. I guess you know probably what they do.
The thing about the Masons, I really don't. I know what they do. When I was younger and I was a Democrat, I was very briefly. The Young Democrats were trying to recruit me because I was on the radio. And they took me to a meeting of the Young Democrats, which was I was at one event with the Young Democrats. There was this guy that everybody was making a big deal about. I couldn't understand why. He was the governor of Arkansas, and his strange-looking wife. And I'm like, why are they making such a big deal about the governor of Arkansas? Who cares about him? And then, of course, that went on to be President Clinton. So shows what little I know. But they took me to this. Yeah, I know, huh? They took me to this Young Democrats meeting, and it was at a meeting hall of the Masons. And it had like the Mason symbol on the above the doorway in the room we were meeting in. And I thought that was the Mason symbol up there. And I said, "What is that?" "Oh, this is a Masons meeting hall." I said, "The Masons? What are they all about?" And oh no, they make walls and things. They're into brickwork and things. They were telling me, but I thought that looking back, that was kind of strange. So I don't know. I don't really know what the Masons are all about. I really don't. I mean, I hear people talk about them and things, but I really don't know.
Yeah.
The Masons? They're not about brickwork or yeah. Well, thinking back on the people that brought me to this meeting, that wouldn't be too far-fetched. If I'm remembering the people, yeah.
Yeah, I was in cool. And guess who they mentioned? Bill Clinton.
Really?
Cocaine from.
Oh, he went directly to the source? Why didn't he just go to his brother? Yeah?
In Colombia know more about.
What was Bill Clinton's brother's name? Can you remember? I can't remember his name.
I don't remember.
Roger Clinton. Roger Clinton was a lot like Hunter Biden. He liked to do drugs with hookers and stuff on videotape. And there was a videotape of Roger Clinton. I don't know if it was with a hooker or whatever, but they were doing cocaine. And Roger Clinton said to the woman, this was on film, it was like Hunter Biden, said, "My brother has a nose like a vacuum cleaner." Does anybody remember that? It was on the film and on the tape. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, isn't that? Yeah, some of you may remember that too.
Oh, did you ever watch
Gary Seal? Oh my goodness. Yeah, the CIA guy that got shot down.
died like 46, I believe.
Wow.
Real, yeah.
You do a lot of research. You do a lot of research.
I do. I'm very curious about everything in life. Anyway,
what do you believe this poll that Pence is in a double-digit lead against DeSantis?
Not. No way. No way.
Give me a break. Yeah. Fake news poll.
It's the best governor we've ever had.
Well, this is the reason I'm transitioning into that, or transitioning into that, is, last week, or maybe it was the week before, Joe Biden and the federal government were seizing control of the life-saving IV treatment for COVID that we have in. And I know two people whose lives were saved from it that call this program. Rabbi David and Dr. Janae Lemaski, both of them had COVID, were very, very sick, and credit the IV treatment to saving their lives. And Biden, the federal government, they were seizing control of the supply for Florida, and supplies were getting low. In fact, the doctor that gave the treatment to Dr. Lemaski and Rabbi David was out. And Ron DeSantis was talking about this in a press conference. He said, because Florida was getting the treatment from the federal government, was getting the medication from the federal government, and Ron DeSantis said he was going to try to work out a deal on his own. But I didn't think that was going to be too possible because of the buying power of the federal government. Well, listen to this. Governor Ron DeSantis has secured antibody doses on his own. Republican Governor Ron DeSantis announced yesterday, that he has secured more doses of the life-saving antibody treatment, despite the Biden administration taking control of the treatment and reducing Florida's supply. This guy is a doer. He's going to be our second MAGA president, Ron DeSantis, in 2028. And I think he's at the top list to be President Trump's vice president in 24.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for taking my call.
Well, thank you. We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you. You're contributing a lot.
To see, I think I'll be ordering the cover from what you say.
Well, let me tell you. Now, make sure you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, because you get 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper, and you get 2 free MyPillows come with it, with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E.
Oh, wow, that's great. That's a bonus.
That's right, and you're supporting not just this program, but the great Mike Lindell, too. I do, too. Hey, welcome to the show. All right, take care. All right, 8 o'clock in the morning, we'll take our break for the top of the hour and come back with Steve Kane joining us after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great MyPillow products are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the MyPillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling to get testimonial about my pillow topper.
You ordered the MyPillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress because my old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress topper? So I went on, I used your promo code KANE. I got great price. Got it home, and I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It feels like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the MyPillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress company stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saved you from buying a new mattress and turn your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. And you guys out there, remember, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Now, when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper and receive 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Seniors, Medicare open enrollment is coming. I Will Advisors has all the education you need to make an informed decision about your plan for you and your family. I Will Advisors specializes in every aspect of Medicare and what options are most likely to help or hurt you. And that way you can get a plan that fits your lifestyle and needs at an affordable rate. Call Debbie at 954 753-8080. 954-753-8080. The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
All right, here we go, third hour.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial... That's 888-GO-CANE-1. And...
All right, welcome. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. Third hour has begun, and checking in from the Laporta Contracting Steve Kane Radio Studio in Coral Springs. Steve Kane with... Hey, Steve. Yeah, yeah, if the answer is no, that's cool. I won't reference it. But you had an very eventful morning after the show yesterday. I don't know if you wanted to mention that or not. Oh, what happened because of your phone?
Yeah.
You know, I called Steve up after the show about something, and I was shocked that there was a police officer at your front door.
First of several.
Yeah, really? How many showed up?
Well, eventually, I mean, there were a bunch of people who the whole neighborhood watch team.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Was
somehow I have historically a horrible relationship with my phone. It just doesn't cooperate at all, and it has a mind of its own, and it makes calls on its own, and it's...
Well, Steve had dropped... Well, you had mentioned part of this yesterday. Steve had dropped his phone, hit a button, and his iPhone called 911, and during the last hour of the show, Steve, I'm sure you heard, Steve's phone was ringing in the background through the whole show, and what that was the 911 operator trying to call you back to make sure you were okay, and you didn't answer.
I mean, if I had been in trouble, I would have been grateful to have everybody there. But it's like there must have been in total 7 or 8 emergency people got in touch with me.
Wow. 7 or 8 police officers showed up at...
Once, I mean, at different times. They kept coming all morning.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
The police are really...
Your neighbors must think you got a grow house or something going on there to have that many cops show up.
Well, I don't know what the neighbors thought.
Well, you know, I'm sure they think you've got an incredible new roof. I'll tell you that, from Tom Laporta from Laporta Contracting. Yeah, so about 7 police officers showed up at Steve's house after the show today, and it was an eventful morning. Yeah, yesterday. Oh, I said yesterday. But you know, I've had that happen on my iPhone a couple of times where it'll mistakenly make an emergency call. Yeah. That's and I'm sure others have had that happen. I've had the same thing happen with. Right. But when they call you back and you tell them everything's okay, they don't take your word for it, because if you're the bad guy, you would pick up the phone and say, "Oh, there's nobody here raping this woman." You know, like this. You know, I just wanted to mention this search for this Brian Laundrie guy. Now, Rabbi David said yesterday he's so uninterested in this story. He doesn't care about it. He doesn't like the news covering it. But I don't think Brian Laundrie is in that nature area. I don't think he was there. I don't know where he went, but I think his parents helped him escape. Oh yeah.
Appears that way to me.
John Walsh thinks so. They're in trouble. They got John Walsh on him now, and he. I don't even know if he was ever in Florida, but the police, the FBI did something really interesting. They came to the house and they took a bunch of evidence, including Brian Laundrie's car, which was that silver Ford Mustang. And they didn't have it very long. The mother was seen yesterday. She drove the Mustang back home. And obviously, they gave her the Mustang back home with a tracking device and listening devices on it. That Mustang is so filled with listening devices and monitoring devices by the feds, you know.
Good up till this point.
Well, now it will. They're going to follow the parents wherever they go in that car. But no, I don't think he's in that nature preserve. There are so many people there looking for him, and it's rainy season in Florida. It's raining every single day, and to be out in nature every single day, they'd have found him by now. No, he's not out there.
Giving all kinds of stories over the radio and the television that talk about that he's a survivalist and that he
now please
once spent 7 weeks in the swamps down there, and he gets along with the alligators. And, you know,
now please, nah, I don't believe it. Well, we don't know where he is yet, and I shouldn't even speculate because this is the overnight for the whole weekend, and you overnight people on the weekend, it might be resolved, and and you'll see that I was wrong. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's not in America anymore. That he went from Wyoming straight to the southern border. I'm imagining it's just as easy to go south as it is north at the southern border. And I think he's probably not in the country, and that the parents. I just walked across to Mexico. I think his parents were involved in a huge deception to throw the cops off, and then he's probably in Mexico.
I think the parents are in big trouble.
Oh yeah, I don't know how if you're like wanted, he's close to being on the top 10 most wanted list. Because they took some people off the most wanted list because Biden gave a country to them, right? Like some of these Taliban leaders in Afghanistan were on the most wanted list, so I guess they're taking them off the FBI's list now. Brian Laundrie is going to be up there. I don't know how people can live for weeks and months and years being wanted like that. How do they live and get money?
It is a little subculture within our culture that survivalists.
No, he's not a survivalist.
From what they're saying, he was. He once camped out for 7 weeks or something like that. All you have to do is have something that converts water, swamp water, to drinking water. Ugh. And this is such nonsense. This is nonsense because I know a little bit about the Everglades and gators and stuff. I was not a survivalist, but I've hunted gator and I've been out in the Everglades doing this stuff when I was a kid, and it's not that easy to be out in the muck. The swamps of these preserves in Florida, they're not just filled with gators, which are in huge numbers now, and in rainy they're hungry. There's also the water moccasins, the poisonous snakes, and wild boar up in these places, and you just can't live out as a survivalist like you're Rambo in a movie or something, escaping from the VC. No, that's all a fantasy, and the worst part of it is the rain. That's no fantasy.
He's probably in Mexico. He's probably in Mexico or Central America by now, and I'm thinking he called the dad when he was still in Wyoming or wherever the hell it was, told him what happened, and his dad said, go to Mexico. Yeah. And, I don't know, do they extradite from Mexico? But a lot of these, I watch a lot of ID, the crime channel, and it's amazing how many people are wanted that are in Latin America, that live long lives down there. So that's probably where we'll find out soon enough. But I'll tell you, this, we were talking about it earlier in the week, and now the MSNBC is talking about this, what do they call it, the missing white woman syndrome or something, the liberals have called it, some strange thing. Yeah, and the
sensational cases, and in every case, this just goes to show you the bigotry of the liberal media.
Exactly.
When they get involved in these things, there's always a blue-eyed blonde, well-built and all that kind of stuff, and you never see one of these.
Yeah.
One of these. What do they call them?
Well, let me play. I've got the clip from Joy Reid when she introduced this on MSNBC the other day. Let me play this. This is Joy Reid talking about it on MSNBC.
Because we've been talking about this
If
for
you've been
days.
watching the
If
you've been watching the news for the past few days, or on Twitter or TikTok, you're probably familiar with the name Gabby Petito, the 22-year-old aspiring social media influencer who was reported missing after her fiance returned from their van life excursion without her. On Sunday, human remains believed to be Petito's were found in a national
Steve Kane
park
Show.
in Wyoming. An autopsy is
All right.
scheduled for tomorrow to confirm the identity. Now, it goes without saying that no family should ever have to endure that kind of pain, and the Petito family certainly deserve answers and justice. But the way this story has captivated the nation has many wondering, why not the same media attention when people of color go missing? Well, the answer actually has a name: missing white woman syndrome.
Yeah.
Term coined by the late and great Gwen Ifill to describe the media and public fascination with missing white women like Lacey Peterson or Natalie Holloway, while ignoring cases involving missing people of color. Joining me now is Derica Wilson, co-founder and CEO of the Black and Missing Foundation, and Lynette Gray Bull, founder of Not Our Native Daughters.
Okay. So if you're the Black and Missing Foundation, if you go to them and you have a missing person that's not black, I guess they don't look for them. But but here's the thing, okay? This missing white woman syndrome. These cases become national sensations because, what you're saying, Steve, the liberal media choose to jump on them and make them a national sensation. And there's a story this morning, listen to this, and this is an example. More children have been shot in Chicago dead this year than have died from COVID nationwide. And the reason that the media don't focus on missing and murdered people of color is because the bad guy is typically a black guy, and they don't want to promote anything negative about black men. And if they start reporting stories of black women being killed by black men or black children being shot by black men in Chicago, they think it'll promote an unfair negative stereotype of African American men, and that's why the media don't report these stories on minorities and report them on white people. They don't want to promote a negative stereotype that black people are killing black people.
That's it so much.
Really? What do you think it is?
Well, I think that they program towards their, what would you say, demographic, their advertising demographic.
Yeah.
But it's aimed at, they don't...
White liberals?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are a whole bunch. It's been a while since I've been in the marketing thing. In fact, I can't think of ever them having one of these extended, what do you call the white woman's...
When there's a thing... The only thing I can think of off the top of my head when there was a national story about black victims of murder was the black No, she wasn't murdered. And nothing ever happened to her. No. Yeah, that was a thing about cops. No,
about Sharpton.
Yeah, no, the only thing I can think of when the media got involved in black people being killed, this tells you how long ago it was that black serial killer in Atlanta, the kids?
Wayne
Williams. Was it Wayne Williams? Yeah, Wayne Williams in Atlanta. He was a black serial killer, and he was killing young black men, young boys. That was what, 1980? You know, and I can't remember a high-profile case of the Tawana Brawley. That's an anti-police story. That's different. I'm talking about like a murdered or missing black person. I can't think of a case outside of the Wayne Williams in Atlanta. That's it. Yeah.
A good example of it is
Steve Kane Show.
The pictures that they had that they were showing
in
their over coverage of this thing. They had the girl. What's her name?
Gabby. Yeah.
They had Gabby. They were showing
Petito.
Right as they're showing pictures of the guy and all that to be on the lookout and all that. My mom.
Yeah, that's okay.
The she is, as I mentioned before, she's an...
Yeah. Yeah.
Attracting what? Bikini, real skinny bikini.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saying, what is this? I mean,
yeah.
They're going for...
Yeah. 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 That's true. That's true. All right. Well, listen, it's time to check in with your attorney. Attorney Barry Siegel's on the line. Steve. Barry Siegel, good morning.
Barry, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing today?
Barry, are you there?
Yeah, he's there. You can't hear him, Steve, but I can hear him. Go ahead, Barry. I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Steve just can't. Oh, yeah.
Close to 60% for all married couples. And so what that means is there are a lot of people out there who may have done an estate plan while they were married and who have neglected to update their estate plan during the course of their divorce or after their divorce. I've dealt with cases where there's a probate, the guy passed away, never changed his estate plan, and even though the last person on earth he wanted to leave everything to was his soon-to-be ex-wife, guess who got everything?
Wow.
He did not update his estate plan. And that's why it's so important that if you are in the process of getting a divorce, or if you are divorced, you need to take out that estate plan, bring it to us, we'll review it and help you make sure that it is updated to meet.
You know, it's not uncommon for ex-wives and ex-stepchildren to get an inheritance because someone hasn't updated their estate plan. Isn't that right, Barry? Oh my goodness, what a tragedy that is! It really truly is. And I'll add one thing to it too. Barry also works on bloodline planning with your documents, and that's very important because the divorce rate of adult children after an inheritance is also very high, Barry. You know, they come into money and all of a sudden there's a divorce and they can get half the estate of, well, their in-laws that passed away. Not with the bloodline planning with Attorney Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group. Listen, give the Siegel Law Group a call. It's a completely free consultation if you mention you heard them on the radio. Here's the number, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, have a great weekend, and we'll talk next week, Barry. All right, take care. All right, we'll finish up our break and be right back after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here. Conservative Doug called me up live on the air to tell me about his experience at Friendly Tire.
I had two bow ties in the back of my Infiniti. So I called them up, and I always really check prices first. Half the price of everybody else.
Half the price?
And
half the price at Friendly Tire. Wow.
Half the price, and not only that, his tires, which nobody, the tires I was looking at, had any mileage guarantee. That is a 60,000 mile warranty. So they're not only half the price, but the price is good.
So you're a repeat customer over there at Friendly Tire. You bought new tires, right? So you bought new tires, because they also sell used tires, starting at just $30 for most sizes. But you bought new tires, and they were half the price at Friendly Tire than at the other tire shops around town. That is phenomenal, and came with a 60,000 mile warranty on the tires. That's great. And of course, Friendly Tire, they never charge you to mount the tire, balance the tire, or dispose of your old tires. The price that they give you are out the door and on the road. And
everybody should go there. I don't know how anybody can buy tires anyplace else. This guy is the best prices.
That's right. That's right. Listen, give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. His number, 954-977-9445. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net, or you can just stop right in. The address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate, and that's just a little north of Coconut Creek Parkway on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Well, Conservative Doug, thanks so much, and I'm glad you got such a great deal on your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Listen to the show on radio. Just search for WW.
All right, we're back, Steve. I don't know if you can hear the caller, Steve. So so we'll see. No, you couldn't hear. Did you hear Barry? No, you could hear Barry. Okay. I hit the right button because you couldn't hear him at first. Okay. All right, guys. Let me give out the number then. At 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. One last thing on this Brian Laundrie story, because I just found a story here in the New York Post. A flight attendant in Canada snapped a photograph of a guy coming out of a hotel in Toronto that looks just like Brian Laundrie and thinks it might be him. So they're searching in Canada, and they got a picture, and it does look like him. I got to tell you, part of the problem is everyone's wearing masks now, especially if you're in a liberal place like Canada. And here's the deal, okay? There's extradition from Canada and Mexico. But in a murder case, they will only extradite if you take the death penalty off the table, because they don't have death penalty in Canada or Mexico. So if he's in Canada and they get him up there, he will not be facing the death penalty, which in this case, that's a tragedy, because he certainly should. I was talking in the first hour, Steve. The January 6th Insurrection Committee with Liz Cheney has subpoenaed Steve Bannon, Mark Meadows, who was Trump's last chief of staff, and a couple of other people that were in Trump's inner circle on January 6th. And in a couple of weeks, the hearings are going to begin with Steve Bannon and Meadows and others testifying to the January 6th committee.
Meadows are really articulate. I think they're going to not be able to defend Trump.
Because they're not going to be allowed to. Because this is what I was talking now. What usually happens, this is going to be, I was talking about this in the first hour. I agree that Mark Meadows, and especially Steve Bannon, because I watch Steve Bannon's show. He does a show, and he's damn good. I mean, he's. But this is the problem. These committee hearings, usually the way it works, you have a committee hearing. I'll use the example I used earlier. I'll use it again. General Milley is going to be testifying in Congress soon. The Republicans are going to go after him like crazy on his treason that he committed. All right, with taking the nuclear codes and all that stuff. And what will happen is the Republicans are going to go after him pretty hardcore. The Democrats are going to defend him. And when it's a Democrat, and they take turns, right? Republican, Democrat, like boy, girl, boy, girl. When the Democrats have their time to ask a question of Milley, they're going to thank him for his life of dedication to public service, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's how all these hearings work. And usually when that happens, the person is allowed to make their case when they're being asked questions from a congressman from the party that they're in. In this hearing, the January 6th committee, that's not going to happen. We've got two Republicans on the committee, Liz Cheney and Kissinger, who both voted to impeach Trump, and they're going to be giving the two Republicans. We only have two Republicans on the committee, are going to be giving Steve Bannon and Mark Meadows more grief than the Democrats, and they're not going to be able to respond. They ask them these terrible questions. Do you beat your wife? And when they no, I don't. Reclaiming my time, and they don't let you answer. So they're going to batter and both Bannon and Meadows and the other Trump insiders, and they're not. It's going to be a congressional hearing like you've never seen on television before, because we've never seen one like that ever. And that's why I was talking earlier. They have subpoenas and they have to go. But if they don't let them answer the questions, can they get up and walk out? Or would they be arrested if they did that?
Necessarily worried.
Oh, no, it's going to be a disaster.
We have two people up there that are sympathetic to Trump that know how to...
But they're not going to be able to talk. When there's a congressional hearing and you're a member of Congress and it's your time to talk and ask questions, it is your time. You do not have to let them answer. That's why you always hear them, like Kamala Harris, and the Democrats in the Kavanaugh hearing. Judge Kavanaugh, did you rape this woman? And he starts to...
It they set up something that unfair,
It will be.
we'll pick up and we'll sympathy. What do you? Well, you can't do anything about it. So.
Oh no, Steve, it's going to be. You know, let me just finish what I was saying. Like in the Kavanaugh hearings, the Democrats would say, "Did you rape this woman?" And he's like, "Well, no, reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time." You know, they're not going to. Bannon is not going to be allowed to say a damn word. And we've never seen a hearing like this before, where the witnesses are not allowed to respond at all. They're going to bash them and batter them and steamroll over them. And it is going to be the nastiest hearing.
Do you think the Trump people in the audience across the country are going to react to that?
Well, like we will, okay? But the media but the media, not from the media.
Or they'll lose. It's in the eye of the beholder. You get that Liz Cheney up there. She brings a lot of baggage with her. A lot of people know just who she is and what she's about.
Oh, yes.
Be a backlash.
Well, I'm telling you, we've never seen anything like this. It's going to be the nastiest hearing ever. And I'm not sure that Mark Meadows and Bannon are both going to sit there and be attacked like that, not being allowed to respond and just sit there. And one of them may get up to leave. And if they do, they may get arrested by the Capitol Police because of the subpoena. We've never seen something like this before. Never. And let me tell you, in the end, it may benefit us. But when this hearing is going to be next month, and when it happens on television, you're not going to be thinking it's a good thing. It's going to be ugly as hell. Ugly as hell. And Bannon.
About this, and it's getting repetitious.
No, all right. Well, let me give out the number. It's 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. I want to hear what you guys think about this, and also, would Bannon get up and go to walk out? And if he did, would he be arrested? So let us know, 1-888 what your thoughts are on all of this. 1-888-465-2631.
It's a great term. I'd never heard it before, and I realize when you put a name on it, I do that a lot. You know, when you sit there and you work yourself up about how bad.
Well, catastrophize is another word. Yeah.
The same idea. I like awfulizing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if a witness, if there's ever been something similar to this that you guys have seen too, I'd like to hear your thoughts. So let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. Yeah.
Beck, is Trump doing anything this weekend? Then?
Not that I know of.
Anybody out there, if Donald is going to be making any special appearances or anything, let us know. We want to bring that as a service to all.
Yep. Well, listen, if you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We'll take our break and come back with your calls. Our number, 888-GO-CANE-1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at
Steve
the
Kane
Soul
Show.
Authority are making it possible for you to still take care
Steve
of your
Kane
feet
Show.
while remaining in your home.
Hold on.
As we will
Steve
send
Kane
a
Show.
doctor
Hold on.
to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
Hi, this is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. I just love Dr.
Steve
Gupta.
Kane Show.
I've been seeing him for around 3 years. He
Steve
always
Kane Show.
has time for
Hey, hold
me.
on.
He never does unnecessary work, and his prices are very affordable. And if you need implants, go see him because he has the best prices around. Let me give you the number. Write it down. It's 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. BrightonDentalCare.com. He's just the best.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve is here. We're going to go to the phones, and I'm not sure we've got everything working here because I know you couldn't hear Barry Seeger when I went to his call, Steve. So if you can't hear the caller, just let me know. No, I'll continue. Good morning. You're on the radio.
How are you?
Good. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Army Gonzalez. I'm calling from Deerfield Beach, Florida.
All right, Deerfield. What's up?
So regarding this and Trump, let me give you a little bit of background. I've been a Republican all of my life until Trump came.
Ah.
And from what I've heard so far, I just tuned into your show. I've never been, first time I hear it.
Oh, welcome.
Of course, with Trump coming, Trump was like an atrocity of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I supported Trump originally because between Hillary and Trump seemed like the proper choice.
Well, who'd you vote for? Who'd you vote for? Who'd you vote for?
I supported Trump.
You voted for Trump in 2016, and then what about last time? Who'd you vote for?
No, of course not. Once he showed his true colors and who.
True colors? True colors?
President.
That's interesting. So you were Republican. Slow down.
Aggravates me. So what you're saying is, as you're sitting with, listen to me. Listen to me.
Slow down, caller.
Turns. Let's take turns. All right. I have a question for you. After what you've been watching on your television screen, which I assume is the same thing I've been watching on mine.
I got a question.
For the past 6 months, 7 months, you're telling me you don't miss Trump after watching this joker that's sitting in the White House?
Look, I don't watch television.
Oh, so he doesn't. Head in the sand, Steve.
All right.
Head in the sand. Head in the sand. You read both sides. All right, let me ask you a question. I want to ask you an important question. Well, I got a question about you that I want to ask. You said you did. Take a breath, and it'll be your turn again in a minute. You said that Trump showed his true colors, so you didn't vote for him the second time. Specifically, tell me what he did that you believe showed his true colors and lost your vote for him.
Since you study both sides.
Okay. Now it's your turn.
Look, Trump doesn't use a computer. The way Trump ran his organization, he learned.
Do you have anything specific you can point to? One thing he did. One thing he did.
I thought we were going to take turns, dude. You're
going to answer. You're not answering the question, though.
You don't like. You start.
It was my turn. It was my turn.
And you're buddy.
It was my turn, and you cut me off. You're rude. You're a rude son of a bitch. You know that?
Are you aware of Roy Cohn? Roy Cohn.
Yes, I know Roy Cohn. What about him?
Roy Cohn taught Trump how to deal with the public
No, but that was known before 2016. You said you voted for him Steve, you said you voted for him in 2016, but you didn't last time. Hold on, let me put him on. Put on hold. This guy, you said you voted for Trump in 2016. You did not in 2020 because he showed his true colors between the two elections. What did he do between the two elections that cost him your vote?
On the United States, Trump cares about Trump. Period.
That's nothing he did. That's nothing. That's just anti-Trump talking points.
When in the history of the United States has basically the closest campaign managers, just about everybody that he used in his campaign, is now a convicted felon.
This is all beat.
So so are you gonna are you gonna tell us Are you going to tell us what Trump did that showed his true colors and cost him your vote and made you vote for Biden?
Is
it true or not?
He's not going to answer you.
No. You know, you never voted for Trump.
Yes.
You didn't vote for him the first time either.
Wait, I'm listening. Go.
Now you're climbing. Now with the claims of fraud. Listen.
No, that was after the election. You said that he did something as president that turned you against him. So we're trying to find out in this fictitious little story you're telling us what he did as president that turned you a Democrat. Exactly.
Bannon.
All right. You know, that, I mean, how many times can we do this? I told you the trolls were back. Didn't I? Didn't I tell you the seminar callers are back? You know, and let me tell you, the seminar callers, you know, I don't mind the seminar callers, but they don't really train them very well. They need to train them a little bit better to have answers to these questions. One of the things that seminar callers do, and by the way, if you don't know what seminar callers, Rush talked about them a lot, they're DNC operatives that are charged with calling talk shows. Seminar callers, almost all of them, say one thing that they think gives them credibility. They were a Republican until this. This was very common during G.W. Bush. I was a Republican my whole life until George W. Bush, then you fill in the blank. And they're using the same old talking points from then on Donald Trump. And they think if they tell you they were a Republican until this happened, that gives them credibility. And the problem is they never give them the story to explain the transition, right? Until he showed his true colors. Well, maybe they should have told you at DNC Brain Reprogram 101 to give an example of an action that he did that showed his true colors, so that it would sound like you had a transition that was credible. All right, let's take another call. Good morning, you're on the radio.
I live in the Republican, and per se.
Yeah, when was the last time you were sober? That's the question. Not today.
No, not any day.
Yeah, play Melancholy Baby for me. Yeah, go ahead.
If there's any background noise that comes up, it's not my fault.
You're the background noise.
Wow.
What do you got? You must have something. You're wasting our time.
Other than a bottle of gin, what do you got?
Well, first of all, Steve is a big fan of the New York Post. There's a great article in there today about Hunter that you might want to read.
Wait, talking about that the Hunter laptop was true? Yeah, I saw that story about how there's a New York Post article about Hunter Biden trying to blackmail the Libyans for $2 million a year when Joe was vice president. Is that the article?
A little bit more. Fill me in.
Is that the article you're referencing?
Well, you love yellow journalism, Steve.
Well, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me about it.
He's got to take another drink, Steve. He's taking another drink. Do you have the bottle in a paper bag or what?
Steve, can you give advice?
Now he's faking. He may be drunk, but he's not totally blacked out. He's faking phone problems. Can you know? So it sounds like he's got a bad connection. So we'll hang up on the call. Oh my goodness! I did, Steve. I did. I put him out of his misery, or maybe our misery, and our listening audience misery. Oh my goodness! I tell you. Look what Joe Biden's done to these people. They got nothing. I was a Trumpy until he showed his true colors, but I'll never tell you what his true colors were.
Give me an example, because I don't have example.
Here's another hint. I shouldn't give them tips, but I'll give them tips. People that support Donald Trump or supported him do not refer to themselves as Trumpers. Trumper is a derogatory. We'll own deplorables. We call ourselves deplorables all the time. I even have a couple shirts that say I'm a proud deplorable. But Trumper, we do not call ourselves Trumpers, okay? So when you're going around pretending to be a Trump person, don't refer to yourself as a Trumper, okay? That's another little giveaway, another little tell. They should hire me to train the seminar callers. I could.
One thing you'll never hear the seminar callers talk about, and that's Joe Biden.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When he does one of his rare appearances and he comes out on stage, he says, "You miss me yet?"
Yeah.
And boy, is he missed.
One thing, you know, I like this one new quote of President Trump when he said, "Woke, it means you're a loser." I like that one too.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, Biden did get involved and did something with the southern border crisis yesterday. He gave out an executive order yesterday that the Border Patrol are no longer allowed to use horses. Yeah, that's his contribution to the border crisis. No more horses by the Border Patrol. Can you believe that? Oh my goodness.
You know,
at least he's involved.
There are lots of police situations where the officers use
horses.
Horses. For example, in New York, you go to the Macy's parade on Thanksgiving, whatever it is, every corner you'll see a cop on a horse in Manhattan. It's because crowd control is just that, controlling a crowd. It's hard for officers in a big crowd to control the people, so the horses, because of their size and bulk and the training that the riders get, are useful in maintaining order. That's why crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.
And these people are just so pathetic that nobody pointed that out.
And they also use them in areas where you can't use regular vehicles. Like in this Brian Laundrie search, they're using horses out in the Everglades, too. Some of the guys out there, you know, in this area of the river, you can't really get there with trucks and even these four-wheel motorcycles, and the horses help with that too. Yeah, you know,
the very term crowd control, for which you call on horses now and then, tells you that the crowd is out of control and the horses are used to bring the crowd.
That's right.
Control.
Yeah.
So again, I don't hear any of our people saying that.
Yeah, that's true. I think one of the greatest tools of law enforcement is intimidation. It's like in that body cam footage with the dead girl and Brian Laundrie, the cops were huge, and this wimpy guy that liked to beat up his 80-pound-year-old girlfriend. You know, those cops, because they were so big, he was calm as a cucumber, you know? So, you know, and horses are big, and one of the reasons they do so well with crowd control horses is because there's a little bit of an intimidation factor, and it calms people down, and they get out of the way, and they get in line. It's true. It's true. A little herding going on. Oh, can you hear that? The Trump train's coming by again, blowing the whistle at us outside the window. All right, listen, we're going to take our last break of the week, come back with the Gold Report, and much more. Don't go anywhere. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Any more seminar callers, please? Give us a try, okay? We'll see. We'll see how you can do. We'll take our break, come back with your calls in the Gold Report right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell you about her
Steve Kane Show
with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Hold on.
Well, as you know, Brian,
Did you guys hear the train blow the whistle? I don't know if you guys could hear it.
We had bought a new mattress not that long ago, but
no, there's a real train track right over here. The beach is here, the train is here. So I'm on the right side of the tracks because I'm on the beach side. Over there's the wrong side of the tracks.
I felt incredible. It made a huge, huge difference for me. And the pain has not returned.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to MyPillow.com and order your MyPillow mattress topper and do what Kathy and I did. Use the promo code KANE at checkout. KANE. And this is an
yeah, you guys heard, yeah.
Because with the promo code KANE,
the Trump train.
20% off the MyPillow mattress topper and get 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code KANE at checkout. KANE. It comes in every size too, from twin all the way up to California King. That's promo code KANE, KANE, at MyPillow.com.
Do
you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Laundrie did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment.
Hey there.
They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness.
I think the trains in Boca are blowing their horns because we're doing the MAGA radio here. They want to know the Trump train's coming. Steve Kane Show.
Go over to any lab test now in Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe.
Steve Kane Show.
The test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University.
No, we're not going to put you back on. Not today. Call next week. That was Al the John. He said my phone crapped out. Can you put me back on?
954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Steve Kane here, and it's Gold Report time with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca. William Youngerman, good morning.
The market yesterday, we saw go down and test one of the support areas and then bounce right off of that, $1,738 after trading most of the day up in the 1750s and higher. The range being 1738 to 1777 yesterday. Gold closed at 1742.80, which was down $25.10. Silver was down 16 cents at $22.50, while platinum closed down $10 at $9.84, and palladium closed down $50 at $1,912. This morning we saw gold trading in a range after hitting that support level yesterday and bouncing off of that, trading up to about $1,759 last night, and in a range of $1,743 to $1,759. Right now, gold trading at $1,750. Yeah, that's up $7.20. Silver unchanged at $22.50. Platinum down $19 at $965, and palladium down $22 at $1,890. Seems to be a fight to gold today, as the Chinese have continued to pressure and put making it illegal for transactions in Bitcoin in China, and putting a lot of pressure and stipulations on that form. Gold or Bitcoin down over 7% this morning at down $3,300. But still not a good store of value as far as I'm concerned, and it's at 41,350. So stay clear of that. Gold's still the only real money in the world, 5,000 years.
That's right. Now, if people can't make it into your store in Boca, either they're out of town, William Youngerman, or maybe they're in another part of town and still can't make it to Boca, can you tell people how they can buy the metals from you without coming in and just calling? How does that work?
Yes, all you do is give us a call, 1-800-327-5010, and lock in the price that you're looking to transact at, and we can hold the gold or the silver or the platinum or whatever you're looking to buy for you as you wire the money to us. The merchandise is shipped immediately out to you, fully insured, and we transact these precious metals transactions this way all over the world, so it's no problem to ship it to you.
Yeah, you hear that, guys? So give them a call. They open weekdays at 10 a.m. The number, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. The address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road, right here in Boca Raton, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway. All right, William Youngerman, have a great weekend. We'll talk on Monday. All right, take care, take care. All right, let's squeeze in a call or two, Steve. Clock's ticking. Yeah, it's the Steve Kane Show. You can ask anything else? Oh, you okay?
Not really, but go ahead.
All right, let's take a call or two. Okay, should I mute your mic while you're doing that? Or are you under?
What about Laura Luma?
I talked to her. She is doing better, but not fully recovered yet. But she is improving. Yeah. I'm sorry, liberals. Sorry. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, this is Al South Florida. I was listening to that other caller that was stupid, the one that said he voted for Trump the first time. What that guy was?
Until he showed his true colors.
Yeah, and I don't think he voted for. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad, but the guy sounded like he was from like another country. You would think also like with communism, the guy just sounded like he doesn't even know what the hell he was talking about. I know I voted. He does. I was stupid. Yeah, I was stupid. I voted for Obama the first time. Then I voted for the traitor who turned out to be a traitor.
Yeah, I voted for Romney too. Who we didn't know. We didn't know.
Oh, but I mean, what's going on now? I don't understand these people. Trump. I like Trump even before he ran for president.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind the way he talks. Some people don't like the way he says things. But look at what we have. We have a guy.
Well, see, this is what I was talking about, Al. Is the campaign season has begun earlier. It's begun over a year away, and the seminar callers being back to me show DNC panic, and they've lost control of the narrative. And the reason we're hearing from seminar callers from the DNC is they're trying to get this narrative going. I was a Republican. I voted for Trump until he showed his true colors, and then I couldn't take it a second time. They're trying to act as if there are Republicans that are fed up with Trump and don't want him back. And I'll tell you guys something. It's like when you get those fake calls online that tell you there's an arrest warrant out from the IRS and they have a guy with an Indian accent on the phone. That when you have a seminar caller pretending to be a Republican, have them sound like an American. That would help a little bit. Another little technique.
It sound like he was. Who knows? He might be illegal.
I don't know. All right, hey, I got to be quick because time is short. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Good morning, Brian. Steve, Jeff from the Ranches.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, I work in a little bit of track control in my line of work, and one of the best things for having the horses is the elevation. They're so sure-footed, and I don't know if you've ever walked this thick brush, but it's really difficult, and they just walk right through that and rocky terrain. So that's a big plus.
It gives the officer a visual. Now they have to be on the ground on those four-wheel motorcycles, I guess, because Biden's big contribution to border security is to no more horses. And they put those horse border patrol guys on administrative leave. They're on desk duty or something.
Great though. The more he does things like that, the better. That's why he can't get out of his way. He's trying to create a single talking point, and he can't do it because to have a talking point, you have to have some.
He's a complete klutz. Just a klutz.
It's all lies.
It's pathetic. I almost feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I've done quite a bit with horses in the ranches. I can tell you, the reins that he was using are standard reins. It's just something that you use to be able to steer the horse around.
Listen, everyone knows the Border Patrol were not whipping anyone. That's why they showed. Listen, they showed that picture in a still picture, and I told you guys when that first came out, a still picture gives a false impression. You lose depth and everything. And Stitchfield on Newsmax, who's on against Tucker on Newsmax, had a photograph from another angle of the same incident. There was 3 to 5 feet between the Border Patrol agent on the horse and that Haitian guy. 3 to 5 feet. He was nowhere near him when you saw the proper perception from another angle.
It's all lies. Quick switch of gears. The calls and the seminar callers. I did a call bank back years and years in the 80s to help support a local conservative candidate, and we had groups of people coming in and making calls with facts. All that has been out the window now. The computers and the lies. The seminar calling is ridiculous. But
they got no facts.
I know. Exactly.
It's like a fax you have to do. To have a fax, you got to do something good.
And see what. And the seminar callers are targeting us in particular for a couple of reasons. This is the longest running radio show in the state of Florida. And with the passing of Rush, I know this sounds self-serving, but it's true. With the passing of Rush, the Steve Kane Show has become the political show of record. And so that's why the seminar callers are coming here. And I'll tell you something. You may have noticed some of the things that we've been talking about on this program recently are being talked by Tucker Carlson and Charlie Kirk. Has it occurred to anyone that they and their staffs live in Palm Beach, which is in the listening range of our radio stations? You know, this show, you think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. This show has become the political radio talk show of record, the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show.
Long-time listener and full-time Trump supporter, and I will never change either of those.
Yeah, but Trump showed his true colors. Didn't you listen to that seminar caller?
Yes, the true colors. He did. He showed how good he is.
That's right. Promises made, promises kept.
Red, white, and blue.
He had to start making new promises because he accomplished all the first ones. Hey, we got to run. We got to run, Jeff. Take care. Before we go, though, because time is short, I got to give everyone again today the new hours of Richard Pearl's Simply Natural. Okay? They are open now Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays, 11 a.m. till 7 p.m. I went into Simply Natural last Saturday. It was my first time there since the passing of Richard Pearl. And let me tell you, Richard owned the store with his wife. His wife still owns it and is still running it. And the staff that they have over there, everyone trained by Richard Pearl himself. Some of them 25 years, all of them over 20 years. They know the store, the merchandise, the products, and the nutraceuticals just as well as Richard Pearl because he trained them all. And I was incredibly impressed, Steve. I didn't know what supplements I take. I just know what I was taking them for. And I told them, and they said, boom, here they are. And they gave me exactly what Richard Pearl always gave me all these years. Simply Natural is located in Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip on the east side of University, in the same shopping center as the IHOP. And if you want to call them, they ship anywhere. 954-741-4045. And again, open Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays, 11 a.m. till 7. Steve, we're out of time with a full board of calls. You want to sign us off?
That does it for today. Have a great weekend, guys. We will be back on Monday on behalf of our technical director, Tyler Kane, my partner and co-host, Brian Craig. I'm Steve. See you Monday, and God bless America.
Hi, Brian.
Now listen, guys.
I'm in studio with
Don't go yet.
Kathy, and
I'm doing something I've never done before, I don't think. Coming up in 15 minutes, it'll be a live premiere here on my YouTube channel, is my podcast with my wife, Kathy. And there'll be a chat room there. I'm doing a live premiere, so there'll be a chat room during the whole podcast. It's a real good one. And I usually upload my podcast at 6 in the evening, but yesterday's podcast, I put it up on YouTube. I had a typo on the thumbnail. So I took it down. But you'll get a notification if you have the notifications clicked. It'll be up there in 15 minutes, 9:15. I wanted to make sure I had time to get out of the studio and into the car. It's a real good podcast. You will not want to miss it. We talked about a lot of important things that I did not touch on the radio today. And there will be a chat room there live, okay? And you can catch me and my wife in the chat room too right here. So guys, I'm going to take off, but I'll see you 15 minutes on the podcast. All right? Take care. Thanks for watching.